Hi, and welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, and I'm still here, even though I wasn't here on Monday because, well, I had no internet, and we'll talk about that Monday because today we're about the guests that I have, and this guy he came along, he popped on a couple times while I was on with Oz on Oz's Clubhouse. And then he started jumping in the chat. And as I like to say, like I like to bring in not just Joe people all the time. I want to have a mix of different people, but it's always people that have supported me in some way. And we chatted a little bit on there. Then he was jumping in. So I'm like, hey, you know what? This guy seems pretty good on screen. So I wanted to have him on. So anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time. My special guest, Dead Man. Dead Man, how you doing?
How you doing, Crossover? I thought this show was called Punk with Toys. I just learned the intro. It sounds more like Crossover with Toys.
So I used to use. Did you ever skateboard?
I was never a skater.
Okay, so I used to use these two old songs from two H Street videos from like '89, I think '88 and '89. Literally ripped. They were literally ripped from the video. They were perfectly fine. No idea. Well, I knew who did it, but Kirk and the Jerks. Then out of nowhere, someone must have bought their licensing for this 40-year-old music no one listens to. And then I started getting the copyright, not strike, the copyright infringement, I think is what it is. So basically we had to share any type of revenue. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I just had to go find something that was free on the YouTubes.
I hear that.
So anyway, how are you doing? And thank you for joining me.
Oh, I'm doing good. And I just wanted to let the chat know he actually charged me $380 to be on the show tonight. Like it cost me money, just so everybody knows. He told me exactly that he was a big deal and that I needed to pay him to be on his show. That is not true. Just kidding.
Most of the people who have been on here, they already know. That's how I stay relevant. Then I go out and I purchase my promotions, so I get fake views and fake subs. I do all that type of stuff.
Oh, nice. So do you monitor like 1,800 emails so you can have all these fake subs?
Well, you can YouTube has their own promotions that you can just go pay for it. Oh yeah, it's right in YouTube Studio. Oh yeah, I did a whole video on it using another account that I no longer use, showing how you can do it. Yeah, it's a big thing.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's called promotions, and it
doesn't just boost a video, so it's in the feed more. It actually just gives
you pick what video, you pick how much you want to spend, you pick where you want it to go out to, whether you want it to go to only English speaking, Canada, US, stuff like that. It will boost your sub count tremendously. For $20, I think I gain like 500 subs on the other one. Again, it's not a channel that I use, and that's the reason why I did it.
Okay.
But and again, I think there's a place for it. If you are creating content where it's like a TV show, then okay, it's no different than commercials. Maybe if you're doing, iWatch or Apple Watches or new iPhones, right? And you're trying to get into it, everyone uses that.
What if you have a magazine?
It depends on what the magazine would be, I guess.
What if it's a toy photography magazine?
I would think that would be stupid because, and the reason why I say like if I'm spending money to promote my reviews, there is no one on this earth that's going, I have so much money, I need to find something to spend it. Oh my God, look, toys! I can spend it on that. You're either a toy fan or you're not. You're not looking, you're not looking for that. But for some things, I think that is real. But you know what? There's so many of these people that become, they look at the numbers, they look at the sub count, and that's how they equate their popularity. And I'm like, we're doing toy tubing. None of us are popular. It's just put it there. None of us are popular. None of us are making a living off it. Okay. The one guy that makes a living off it, Dan Larson, who did what? Toy Galaxy, changed it to Secret Galaxy because it doesn't talk only toys anymore.
Yeah.
So right there, it tells you, like, don't try and do this as a job. I guess there's a couple that are probably.
There's some people that do this as a job. There's more than a couple. There's some that.
There's a couple, but for the most part, most of those people have been around for the long haul.
Oh yeah, they have. All I think most of them have been around, but I mean, people that are getting paid for it, they've probably been around for a while. All of them.
And there are ways to do it, but you're doing more than just toy tubing. You're doing more than putting on Amazon links. You're doing promotions and stuff like that. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk to you. We got 26 people watching. Please hit the like button and the subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, Deadman's links are in the description. So the link to his personal YouTube or his personal Instagram, and then the Toy Mercs YouTube channel and both of their Instagrams are down there. So go ahead. Click the little like button. Unless if they have more than me, then don't do it.
everybody can leave right now and go subscribe to Toy Mercs. Go do that.
That's actually what that was one of the things we started talking about, where we talked about like people that once they started getting, like, you started getting popular, they didn't want to have you on. And I don't understand that. Like, we'll get in.
Yeah, we could talk about that if you want, but I'm not going to tell you who any of it is.
No, and I don't expect that. It's just the whole purpose of what people say. But let's say hi to the chat really quick. Like I said, 27 people. I'm going to try and run through it. We got Joe ARH jumping in here. Paul Morales, GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community. Men, Housa, Krusty L. Crow, HK Viper, Beardy McBearderson, Hella Geek jumping in. We have, I said US Combat Dojo already, I believe, but he says evening all, using the membership for 10 months. So you get the
fucking Phil Collins.
Poor Phil Collins. I don't feel bad for him. We have Toy Mercs pulling double duties in the chat and on here. I said Hella Geek, but I know you said hi to Hella Geek, so we'll say we have Troy Beliefert, Big M, MTC Collects. We have one moderator, Action Fig, saying, how did I get here? I don't know. It probably just pops up on your YouTube. Remember, you were a guest once, and you're my moderator too. So there is that. Machine Man. I know there were some other people. There were some people that I didn't see that I'm thinking came over to see you.
Maybe.
Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. Clint Jorgensen. I like to say hi to as many people as possible. SCS Dog.
Absolutely. That's important.
Here we have Fanboy Tone. Is that the King Merc? I don't believe I've ever seen you before, and because of that, you get the.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
And if I have seen you before, my moderator Matthew isn't here to tell me, and I apologize too. Crash jumping in, gifted 1 punk membership, and so you get the.
Welcome to the Creamery.
I don't have any like real fancy things. I just got what I made my daughter do. But then we have Lights Cam as fuck saying, "Sup, dudes? I know I've never seen you here before, so."
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Anything to play Bruce Campbell, I like to do, and so I got to do it once again.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Just real quick, I do a show with all 3 of those people.
I figured that. Anime figure statue collector. Matthew, you don't even have to message me. I know that I have not seen this one because I don't get too many statue collectors.
He goes by Roger most of the time.
Okay.
He at least at one point was pretty good friends with Oz. You might have met him.
I may have, and maybe he has been in here. Once YouTube stopped showing your name, it got confusing if you didn't know who they were. Fanboy Tone saying, during the day, I do air traffic control at MBS International Airport. I don't know if that was supposed to be told to us or not.
I don't know.
Honestly. Action Fake says, I only came to watch Deadman. I'm going to give his video a like on his channel. Well, you might be locked out of your room at Joe Fest. Once I get half the money for the room, then, if you want to be mean like that. Derek Hoover jumping in here. Let's see here. I think that's about it right now. Oh, there's Ultra Match. There we go. All right. So the name Deadman.
Yeah.
It's actually Deadman won is what
Deadman won, as in the past tense of winning.
Okay, so where does that come from?
It came from my son, believe it or not, when he was like 8 years old. And it's my old gamer tag. And so I was trying all these cool like gamer tags and I couldn't get any of them. And then I was like, my son, when I was younger and much thinner, and he was like 8, now he's like 34. But he used to tell me that I looked like the Undertaker. I never saw it.
You look more like the fake Undertaker.
Yeah, I never saw it ever.
You look more like Brian. Who was the fake Undertaker?
I don't know.
It was Crash.
I don't know. But anyway, it came from him saying that when he was little. And I think it was because like my nose is similar and I always had long hair. So
I can see it.
So yeah, so that's my so I thought of that and I tried Deadman, it didn't work. I tried Deadman the number 1, it didn't work, and then I tried Deadman writing out the number 1 and it didn't work. But then I was like, this is a game, dude. What if it's winning in past tense? So WOM worked. And I've just used it for everything ever since.
But is WON correct?
Yeah.
Isn't that Spanish?
No. WON. No, it's not fucking Spanish.
That's why I was confused. That is a Spanish word. I'm a bad Mexican. I understand, but I live in the U.S. I only speak English.
I didn't know you were Mexican. Yeah, I'm a quarter. I'm a North Swedecan, and in that order, I'm more Norwegian than I am Swedish, and I'm more Swedish than I am Mexican.
I'm a 25% Mexican, 25% Italian, and then a mix of a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I'm a quarter Mexican, and then I'm a quarter Swedish and half Norwegian.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's why I thought maybe it was something to do with that, but I guess that makes sense.
Everyone thinks that. Everyone says Deadman won. It would be.
Well, that's why I asked, right? Ed says he's a bad Mexican and still doesn't know English. I didn't say I was a good American, which is stupid because Canadians are Americans and so are Mexicans. We're United Statesian sounds stupid. You ever noticed that?
United Statesian.
there's 2 continents called America, right? Like there's lots of Americans that aren't from the US.
there's North America and South America.
Exactly. And all those people are Americans.
Yep. All of them. Every single one.
But United Stadium sounds really stupid.
You could just call it the United Stadium. That's funnier.
All right. So do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 51 years old.
Okay. So 51. I just turned 50, so we're in the same age range. Where did you grow up, and what was your family life like? Did you have siblings? Were your parents together?
I had 3 older brothers and an older sister growing up, and I was the baby.
Okay.
I grew up in Washington State. I grew up in a little Navy town called Bremerton, Washington.
Are they much older than you?
Closest one to me is 4 years older.
Okay. So you probably didn't have too many built-in play friends at home.
No, I had. Well, if you count fighting, got a lot of fights with my siblings, like physical ones. But
I meant playing with like toys and stuff.
No, my older brother, he liked toys a little longer than he should have. So a little bit here and there, but most of the time we just fought. Like he like, yeah, he used to be. I thought my life was terrible, and then as an adult, I got in a fight, and I was like, "Thanks, Mike."
Well, and if your closest brother is 4 years older than you, you're just an annoyance.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean that in the best way. I mean, how much older is your oldest brother?
Oh, I don't even know.
So I mean it's a big age gap, and
yeah,
when you're 10 and your little brother is 4, you're just an annoyance to them. And then when you're in high school, like I think I hear that from a lot of people. Either way, it's when the kids, when people have a brother or sister that's a year apart or 2 years. My sister was 6 years younger than me. We don't get along. We just we don't talk. It's like we're two different people.
I mean, things were good until he became a teenager, honestly. Like, because I mean, if you think about it, I was 4 when he was 8. I wasn't too much behind him until he became a teenager. Then it got then
it's just like you're a hanger-oner. And more than likely, if you're with him, it's because your parents said, "Hey, take him with you." And it's the last thing that a teenager wants to do.
Yep.
Most teenagers don't want to hang out with someone a year younger than them, let alone a sibling that is much younger. So what were your parents like? Were your parents together? Did you?
Yeah, my parents were together. My father died when I was like 21. My mother died not that long ago, and that was a terrible story. I was living in California, and she was getting really, really sick. She had diabetes and like neuropathy in her feet, so she couldn't really stand or walk. And and so I moved up here to help out. I moved back home to help out. I didn't want to, but I did because I mean, I had a career and everything. I was a chef down there. I was making tons of money. My wife didn't have to pay for anything, and yeah, came up here, and she was gonna have this surgery because she was overweight and everything too. So she was gonna have this surgery where they just like pump radiation down your esophagus, and it like breaks up cloggage in your arteries. And she had that surgery, and it was a major success. We all got phone calls, every one of us. We just added 10 years to your mother's life. Awesome. Then we get a phone call. You better come to the hospital. They had an orderly had actually tried to help her from the bed to a chair, but wasn't paying attention, and she fell, hit her head, had a hematoma, and ended up dying in 3 days.
Oh,
yeah, it was terrible.
That is awful.
Yeah,
I can't even. I don't want to imagine. I mean, everyone says you can't imagine. It's like I don't want to. But my other moderator says, "All right, this is where Pug makes it about himself." Yeah, I was 13 when my mom passed away. People are like, "Oh, I didn't want to imagine that." I'm like, "You shouldn't. Like, it's not something like it's not something you're supposed to, want to be like, man, I hope that happens to me one day." That sounds like you had a good life with her. So that's good.
Well, I mean, I did and I didn't. I was the baby, so I wasn't. It's not that I was never good enough to do anything. My mother, just because I was the baby, I couldn't do it because I was the baby. It didn't matter what it was. I couldn't do it. When she found out that I was a chef in California, she could not believe it. Really? She couldn't believe it, like, at all, because I wasn't able. I guess I wasn't, because I was the baby. I couldn't do that. How could I do that?
So you were the last one, and basically, it's holding on to that. You're holding on to that last. Like, this is the last kid that I'm gonna have.
Yeah, and I mean, she did a number on my brain with that too. Like, I had to move away to get away from that, like doubting myself, And then when I came back, I left the cooking industry, and I started because I was going to get a job at a restaurant as a chef that they were building. They got me a job with the construction company, so I wouldn't lose any. Well, so I just have some income,
Yeah.
But when it came down time for me to go work in the restaurant and leave the construction company, I was like, would you mind if I didn't? Because I've been able to have dinner with my wife every single night for like 8 months now, and I don't want to give that up ever again.
Some things are more important than money.
Yeah, turns out. I still don't make the money I made when I was in California.
Well, I mean, I know people, people always say more money, more money, more problems. I would like to know what that's like one time. I mean, I just like to experience it. Like, can I experience it? Like, just
I'll tell you, you don't want to do it in the food industry because I had very little time to myself and very little time.
I can't. If I had to work Friday and Saturday nights till 2 o'clock in the morning to support my family and myself, I would figure out a way. But I'm an 8 to 5er. Salary 8 to 5, 8ish to 5ish is what I like to say.
I was an 8 to 10:30 kind of guy. 8 a.m. 10:30 p.m.
See, I don't want that. And at 50, my body is like, no, fuck you. But then again, I come home from work and I do YouTube, so I'm still working. But at least I don't have to if I don't want to, and I enjoy doing this. But we're way off topic. Let's get back to. Do you remember the first? And we'll get back. I promise you, we will get to this. Do you remember like the first toys that you played with? Not what you fell in love with, but like the first toys. And I feel like our age, like it's Hot Wheels, Adventure People, the little barnyard guys. I think everyone had the barnyard.
I had tons of the not Adventure People, but like forget what they're called. They have like little Lego hands, kind of, and like both their legs move at once. I forget what they're called.
I know exactly. I can see it. Playmates.
Yeah, Playmates. But those weren't the first toys. The first toy that I remember was this weird bear. And he was like hard plastic attached to like a bowling ball at the bottom, and it had like little bear prints on the bowling ball. And you could roll him across the floor, and he'd like wobble, like a Weevil wobble sort of situation. But the ball rolled, it rolled backwards or forward, and that was the first toy that I could like. If I think back, that's like the first memory of a toy I have is of that thing.
It's Playmobil. I knew Playmates. Playmates are the big rubber, the plastic and rubber things.
Well, Playmates just lost the license to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes,
it's the end of an era.
Which I don't know how. I feel. I first off, I thought like when you started a toy company, you were just given a TMNT license. Like it doesn't have I'm on a Kickstarter for these crazy pirates. Like, hey, you get TMNT. I don't want those. You get them anyway.
Yeah.
Pirates.
Well, you get them. I think you do get it if you want to cross it over with your shit. That's a deal.
We even got G.I. Joe.
Dude, those are terrible. Well, out of all of them, I think the Destro and the Cobra Commander look decent, but they're still terrible.
The Cobra Commander looks like a shredder. I mean, it looks like a blue shredder. If it gets kids into G.I. Joe, awesome. Does it mean that there's another G.I. Joe thing on? Hopefully, there's another G.I. Joe thing on the shelves that kids like, but it also means there's a G.I. Joe thing that I'm not worried about wanting to buy because I'm walking right by it and my pocketbook's going, that's nice. Hey, look at that army builder right there. I should buy that. I'll find something else to spend it on. All right. So what was like, I mean, you're my age. I mean, a little bit older than me. So what was the first toy line that you fell in love with? Or was there a specific toy?
It was G.I. Joe.
I like that.
I ended up having like more Masters of the Universe because my brother liked G.I. Joe too. And like he's only 4 years older than me. But at one point I got all the hand-me-downs. And there was a few figures that we both really liked a lot. We both like had our own, so we'd fight over it. Like he'd lose his spirit, and I'd know where mine was, so he automatically thought I took his, and I just had them both somehow. You know.
Anytime I hear like someone like a guest or anyone in general, they're like, yeah, my brother was a year older, so for Christmas we would both get a spirit. We would both get grunt, so we wouldn't fight over it. I'm like, man, like because either you couldn't get along or your parents thought you couldn't, you missed out on having one of each of something and getting multiple. At the same time, if you can't get along, I guess it's better.
Yeah. My brother and I fought over him all the time. He never had Masters of the Universe. That came out a little late for him, and I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it as much as I like G.I. Joe. And like Transformers. I loved the cartoon, but my mom got me my first Transformer, and I think it was like Ironhide or something, and I hated that thing.
Darren 3-star, poor Spirit. If you have not watched 3-star draws latest video that he's doing, his series, it has Tuco Viper interviewing Spirit, and it is done really well. It's 10 minutes. It's pretty fucking funny. And you find out that Spirit is not a fan of freedom, his ego. All right, so you fall in love with G.I. Joe. What was it about G.I. Joe? Is there anything that you can pinpoint?
Well, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were a big part of it. I always thought Destro looked cool. Cobra Commander was rad looking. Even like the Cobra Troopers looked cool. And I knew they were supposed to be the bad guys, but I didn't care because they just looked cool. Flint ended up becoming, because of the cartoon, Flint ended up becoming my favorite Joe. And like to this day, he's still my favorite like good guy character in G.I. Joe. I do kill him pretty often though. If you search Instagram for the hashtag Flint's just fucking dead, there's a bunch of photos of me just killed and just off in Flint.
Royal Roosters Collectible says that Ironhide is awful. I don't know who he's talking about.
Ironhide, he's like a weird like soccer mom van from the 80s.
No, I know who Ironhide is, but I'm just wondering why.
G1 Ironhide too, like any of them. It didn't matter who it was. None of them transformed and looked like the robot they were supposed to look like, and that's what I wanted. When I was a kid, you didn't have that option. You couldn't just get the robot version. You had to get the actual Transformer.
Yeah.
And
but Ironhide, and the only reason I was asking is he's like that. I was seeing if there was like part of anything. My son got Ironhide from the movie, which I love that Ironhide. It is, and that was the first toy that I remember telling him, I will transform this once a week. You decide if you want it in a car or robot. It was that frustrating. So I couldn't imagine a little 5-year-old doing it. That's why I'm like, is there talk about another Ironhide in here? It was just, I just wondered what he was talking about. I do remember the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, oh, you did say you had Ironhide as a kid? Man, I'm out of it.
Yeah, I did.
When you say Ironhide?
It was the first and only Transformer I had as a child because I hated it. I was like, I think they're all going to be this stupid. Like none of them they just didn't look right to me. And like, that's something that really bothered me. Joe's looked the most like the cartoon when I was a little kid, the He-Man characters, they were like short and stubby compared to the cartoon, so I didn't like them so much,
So that's actually funny about Master of the Universe. I always thought like they were like the most authentic to the cartoon. And then when the Origins cartoon ones came out, I was like, oh my gosh, the figures look nothing like the cartoon.
They didn't when I was a kid either.
I know they did it, but I always thought that they did. I wasn't as big of a Masters of the Universe guy. I had a whole bunch and I did watch it, but I always thought they looked like dead on. Never really paying attention, I guess the imagination. So when they came out with the cartoon edition, I was like, holy shit, dude. Like they look nothing like it.
Yeah, nothing.
But their outfits looked pretty close. So I think that was where, with like G.I. Joe, I knew didn't look anything like it.
Well, they looked the closest.
They were similar, but I also, you had the comic book and the file cards, and there was that, they all had the same stupid laser rifle.
They did all have the same stupid laser rifle,
which is Snow Job's rifle, which a lot of people didn't even realize. People didn't realize Ripper. He had the same rifle. It just had a bayonet on it, and then they also put a magazine on it.
Yeah.
Same with Alpine. Alpine's grappling hook was the XMLR.
Yeah.
So,
and they chose that one for the cartoon because it was the simplest to draw as well.
Oh, really?
Everybody in the cartoon had that one too. Well, I mean, if you just look at it and look at the other guns that everybody else came with, it's like, yeah, that's the easiest one to draw.
Makes sense. It makes sense. And then turned into a laser rifle. Other than when I think it's Hawk that's firing it and there's shells ejecting out of it. I'm like, that's a laser rifle. That's kind of weird, but whatever.
Hawk likes lead, dude. He's like, fucking, I'm killing people. I'm not shooting light beams at them.
So were there other properties that you loved
I really liked Secret Wars because I got into comic books at one point.
All right.
So I like the Secret Wars. Like, matter of fact, I have my Wolverine that I had from Secret Wars when I was a kid still. He is all beat up and gnarly. And then I have another like version of that Secret Wars as well somewhere, like a newer one. But I don't have the claws for either one of them. But
I think that's something about. I mean, I still have a lot of my original GI Joe stuff, but when people have their old stuff, it's like when it's beat up, it's like that's beat up because I played with it.
yep.
That's why it means. That's why that means so much. That's why that will always be in my collection. And other people don't understand it. You know,
Yeah.
I think it was actually it might have been you that we were talking about something. I brought up the aircraft carrier, and because everyone knows I have my aircraft carrier. I'm like, as much as it could be worth, it means more to me because it takes me back to when, you know, my mom was alive, being a kid. I'm like, it means more to me than any value that you can put on it.
You should put that thing behind you for your show.
I don't have room.
That's why I wouldn't understand why you love it so much, because I know the thing is huge. Like, I don't have enough room for my figures. Like, I'm thinking about offloading like so many.
I have a whole room downstairs dedicated to the one or to the a Real American Hero 118th line.
Okay.
So it is set up. It's set up. It has lights on it. It's a small room, and I have lots of shelves, and I bump into everything when I walk through
it. So basically, it's a room for the rats and the spiders.
No. Although I have had, I don't have rats. I do get spiders, and I have had the spider webs that have gone through the tomahawk, which I really hate. But now I spray down there. And it seemed to work pretty well last year. So I'll be doing that again as spring is coming, because fuck you, spiders.
I had a squirrel fall through my my roof or my ceiling in this room.
I love squirrels.
Right after I got off a live on Instagram, a squirrel fell through.
Ew, man.
It was like 4 a.m, and I was hammered, and I had to get a squirrel out of the house. It was a lot of fun.
I'd rather do that than deal with spider. I have a. Everyone here knows that I have a fear of spiders.
Okay.
To the point where I was sent some stuff to do a giveaway for my punkathon for Toys for Tots, and the person bought a string of spiders and taped it to the box. So when I opened it, they moved. And due to my daughter going, because I called her down, I'm like, I hate people. And she's like, you have it on video, because I have cameras. I completely forgot. So I put it up on Instagram. I don't jump like people made it. I'm like, you can see how much I backed up. I'm like, motherfucker. And then what's funny, he's like, I put 2 boxes in there so you can ship them out for whoever wins. And I'm like, dude, I threw that box in the garbage. I took the stuff out and I threw it. So if you put a box in, I threw them in the garbage. Like, you. I went right to the garbage. I ain't dealing with that shit. And there was
you didn't even break it down and recycle it?
It went right to the garbage.
You're a bad man.
I got the stuff out, and I took it out to my garbage, and I dumped it in there, and I'm like, fuck you, Tripwire. Fuck you.
That's great. That's a good story. I like
it. All right. So you liked other things. You got into comic books. When you go into, like, let's say middle school, are you still playing with toys, or are you starting?
I still collected toys in middle school. I didn't play with them much, but I still wanted to get like the new Joes that were coming out, and I was still reading comic books for sure. I didn't stop reading comic books till like probably like right late 20s. Like, I was almost 30 by the time I stopped reading comics.
Okay. I feel like a lot of people, they get into comics when they get into high school because they're easy to hide. If somebody sees that you have them, you can say, oh, I just like reading the stories. It's it's easier to justify, hey, I just go out and buy a couple comics rather than seeing a whole bunch of toys. And you being the youngest didn't have anyone to blame it on. When someone comes over and goes, you still have toys? And you're like, oh no, those are my little brothers.
No, I didn't have anyone to bring up. I still love cartoons. Like I was like a teenager, like running home to like watch like whatever cartoon I could watch, like young teenager, because I started playing music when I was like 17, and that slowed down the collecting of toys. It also like slowed down the amount of books that I was reading at the time.
I've known a good amount of musicians, and that's full-time. That's a full-time hobby.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a musician. I love punk, but I know like with skateboarding, that's all I spent my money on. Like I didn't care, and I would assume music's probably the same way.
Well,
Guitars,
I mean,
drums they're not cheap.
Yeah, I would buy guitars. I'd buy cheap guitars. You know, I like have a bunch because I bought a bunch of like $200 guitars. But then I like got to the point where I'd start spending $200 of electronics to put into it, and then I was like, why don't I just buy a $500 guitar? You know, so I bought a $500 guitar, and I was like, it's still not good. So then I was putting more electronics in it, so I was just up in the price. Finally, I spent $2,300 on a guitar, and I love that thing.
But you still have amps that you need.
Oh, Jesus. You don't want to talk about how much amps.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things where, like skateboarding, it doesn't seem expensive to you start buying a board once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It starts adding up, Not everyone was buying as many boards as I did, but that was just what I did. But I need a lot of these hobbies. And it was funny because I actually told, when I got back into skateboarding at 40, the owner, like when I started shifting back to toys, I'm like, I spend way more money on toys than I did on skateboards. And he's like, how? I'm like, that's a great question. It's a great question. But
how much did a board, trucks, wheels, and bearings cost you
back in the day?
Yeah,
you're looking at about one. If you're buying complete, probably around 140 to 150.
Yeah.
But I was only replacing normally the decks.
Yeah.
And I worked at a skate shop, so I would just take whatever I want and put it on my tab.
Yeah.
So she would just take so much. Yeah, she would just take. So as you might imagine, I would ride a board for a week, take a new one, throw the old board in my trunk. And I knew I had a problem when I opened up my trunk to get my board, and there was a guy standing next to me. He goes, "What are all those?" I'm like, "Those are old boards." He's just pulling them out, and they're like brand new.
Yeah.
I had a stack of probably about 10, and he's like, "Can I buy one?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me $10 for one." Which,
nice.
they were like 55, $60, and I barely wrote it, and that's when I realized I had a problem. I didn't stop my problem, but. All right, so in high school, you're not collecting toys anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But you do pick up some comics. You obviously got into music. Did you get into sports or anything else like that? You don't seem like a sports person. I'm just gonna say it.
I was really big. I'm 6 foot tall, and I was 6 foot tall in 7th grade. So the coaches wanted me to play football. I played football with my friends, like at lunchtime sometimes.
Okay.
And I didn't really want to do it, but the coach wanted me, and I never got on the team. I was a troublemaker. I had a mohawk, like I was not a sports. Yeah, it wasn't my thing. No,
I wasn't either. I was a skateboarder, and I love sports now. Like I really got into sports, watching, not playing. But growing up, never cared for them. No. It was music. It was punk rock, some metal, and skateboarding. But what kind of music did you get into? Because you said you started playing.
Punk rock. When I was 12 years old, so my oldest brother, he's a lot older than me. I don't remember how old, but when I was 12, he came back to visit, and he was in the Navy. He came back to visit, and he he was big into renting movies to watch with me and my brother and my sister and myself. And one of the movies that he brought to watch was Sid and Nancy.
Okay.
And I'm 12 years old, and I'm like, sans the heroin, that's fun. So I got into punk rock pretty early in my life. Like by the time I was like 14, I was listening to the Exploited and Dead Kennedys and Misfits and like all kinds of stuff.
That's a lot of the. I feel like people our age, like that is the early influence into punk. It's always the Misfits. I got exposed to like the Circle Jerks, still one of my favorite bands.
Yep.
There was a band called
Circle Jerks are really cool because every album they put out, they had a different sound for every album.
For the most part, yeah, except for Wild in the Streets and Six sounded very much alike, which is fine because I love both of them.
I think the production value is way higher on Six.
But their sound is the same.
Somewhat.
Those are like, but you're right about the other ones. Wonderful is different, way different. I really wish they'd go back and redo Group Sex. Dude, I wish them and Bad Religion would go back and redo their first album. So it sounds decent. Because they got some awesome songs. I'm like, this production value is all. I can literally hear the fucking car pulling up next to you as you're playing and recording this. All right.
I'll tell you as a musician, musicians find that shit cheesy. That'll never happen.
And it's funny that you say that, but how many times have they remastered it? Sick of It All went back and redid one of their albums, not one of their albums. They went back and redid some of their songs, how they play it now rather than how they recorded it. And I was like, I didn't have a problem with that.
That's not a lot of bands do that. Most musicians.
It was completely recorded. It wasn't one of those like best of or digitally mastered. They went back and they're like, hey, this is how we play them now. Our sound is somewhat changed. It's still the same sound. But I'm sorry, the Circle Jerks, that first album and Bad Religion, they need to re-record them so I can actually hear them in crisp CD sound. I
would actually like to hear that as well, honestly. Like Group Sex is one of my favorite records. I loved that record when I first heard it. I was like, whoa, this is great.
But the sound is awful. Would you not agree?
Now it is.
Yeah. Where I listened to the first Pennywise album and I love it.
You know who always had really good production was Fear.
I never got into Fear.
Fear, if you could pick up any Fear record, it's all like way ahead of its time for the type of music it is, and it's because they were all music students, so they just they had access to really good recording equipment, really good gear, and like people that were just good at it. Like Triple D, what's up?
And that is one of those things where, again, when you grow up as a punk, you're like, this band better never sell out. And as you get older, you hear people say the same thing, like that band sold out. But you're like, you know what? This band has been able to not change their music style to be popular, and they're able to make a living out of it. There's nothing really wrong with that.
Yeah.
When you're 16, 17, you're like, no way. No, you don't do that. You don't make a living out of doing this. Like, God forbid you make some money with your profession.
Yeah, God forbid. It's like a lot of people think Green Day sold out. It's like if you took the production value back down to Dookie, it would sound exactly the same. Like they're just doing it more often now because they can.
I am not a fan of Green Day.
Well, you don't have to be a fan of Green Day. But I'll tell you one thing about Green Day. Where do you live? What part of the country are you from?
I'm in Detroit.
All right. So you probably don't understand any of this at all. So there's this club in the Bay Area called 342 Gilman Street. That's it's been there since
I want to say Rancid's talked about it.
It's been there since the 80s.
Okay.
And it's always been collectively run by people in the community. It got to a point where the area around it was becoming gentrified. Like across the street from it now is this giant freaking brew pub. It's like 2 stories and shit. And it came down that somebody was gonna buy that property. Green Day pays for everything for that place now. They will not play there. And one of the rules of that place is you cannot be on a major record label and play that place. So Green Day can't play it. They don't want to anyway, and they pay for it.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, and I wish someone would have done with CBGBs. Even though I've never been there, everyone knows CBGBs. It became popular like the Misfits. But anyone that's really into it knows like how much CBGBs meant to the New York hardcore scene or the New York punk scene, right? Or just punk scene in general, right? Now it's, again, people buy the shirts. They really have no idea what CBGBs is other than Blondie played there. That's like the only thing that they know.
Like the Ramones lived there, people. Come on.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think that's really cool. There's a courthouse that was famous for skateboarding. And as much as people hate Nike and skateboarding, they bought the courthouse. So it basically became a skate park.
Nice.
So they bought it. And I think they finally ended up selling it. People still skate there, but they bought it and they're like, no more of you guys getting kicked out. Like, we're so invested in the skateboarding. Here you guys go, and it wasn't a skate park, but it was something that became very famous in all these, in all these videos. So I think it's cool that Green Day would do something like that.
Yeah.
I've
never been a huge Green Day fan either, but as I get older, I find myself gravitating more and more to some of the popular stuff I never liked. Like I didn't like Descendants till I was like in my late 30s.
I
love the Descendants.
I can't say I love them, but there are some songs that I really do enjoy.
Yeah, like I mean, I honestly could not handle Descendants till I was in my late 30s, and now I think they're great.
I was like that with Rancid in the 90s. And Rancid's another one. Like when people say they sold out, I'm like they got popular, but you listen to their music, they've never sold out.
They got popular on their first record. So how's that selling out? And they were on Epitaph. They weren't on a major label.
Was it the first or second album? I think it was the second.
Pretty sure it was their first record.
Well, I know Out Come the Wolves they got popular.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was their second. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I never really liked Rancid. Honestly, I still love Op Ivy.
One of them. When you talk about bands that should be in the Hall of Fame, Op Ivy should be, because even though they didn't sell millions of records, it's Hall of Fame. They influenced, same with like Bad Religion. Like some of these bands, like they've influenced so much music, they deserve to be there. Op Ivy, one album. And as much as I wish they would do a reunion, I have so much respect that they won't do that.
They won't.
And again, it's like selfishly, I want them to, but I love the fact that they're like, we're not. Now, I believe that they're doing something again. They've done stuff together before, but I'm glad that they won't.
It's the singer that won't do it, right?
No, actually, if you've ever watched, whenever Rancid, at least every time I've seen, anytime Rancid plays an Operation Ivory song, it's Lars that sings it. It's never I can't think of the guy that was in.
The guy that sounds like a retard whenever he sings.
We don't use that word here. We get yelled at.
Okay, sorry. But you know what I mean. He sounds like he's challenged.
He's nasally. Why can't I think of his name?
I can't think of his name either.
I can think of Lars.
Tim Armstrong.
Tim Armstrong, yes. Because two of the guys are from Operation Ivy. They're like, there's 27 people right now going, who the fuck is Operation Ivy? I've heard of this Rancid band, but I
look it up. Look it up. They're the first band to actually bring punk rock to ska.
Yes. And I hated ska. Now I've started, I can't say I won't seek out ska, but there are some ska bands that I have liked. And when I've seen them in concert, I'm like, this is actually pretty fun. And Nolan, I just came across Lars and the Bastards just playing on my playlist on my phone, and 2 albums, and I'm like, I wish he'd do another album, because I loved I loved his sound. You know, it's way different than Rancid. Anyway, okay, so you get into punk rock. What bands are you influenced by? And is that the music you start playing?
Yes, it's music I start playing. I got influenced to so many different bands. Big influence to me to this day is still all of everything Danzig has been involved with. I'm still to this day a huge Danzig fan. The guy is funny. He's ridiculous. He's left tours so he could go back home to his fucking kitties. He's 5'3" and has a little podium to stand on, like a little stand to stand on stage all the time. He throws a fit. He gets punched out by somebody because he thinks he's tough. Like the guy is a walking joke.
Okay,
but I love Danzig.
If you don't know who Glenn Danzig is, singer of Danzig, singer of the original Misfits, just look him up. There's pictures of they become memes. Him walking home carrying kitty litter.
Yep.
If you want to see Glenn Danzig get knocked out by a bouncer, just type in Glenn Danzig gets knocked out. And
it's actually a singer of a band called the Reality Kings.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So the whole story behind that, I met that guy. That guy was working the door at a show that I was playing. I can't remember where, but I met that guy, and the way he tells the story it's way funnier.
Well, again, just look it up if you want to see it. Glenn Danzig is much smaller than this guy. It's like me deciding that I'm going to push somebody, and he thought, hey, I'm muscular. I'm going to push this guy. And he said, you're a child, and I'm going to punch you, and you are going to go down like a sack of bricks. And that's what he did.
Dude, Danzig does it like and falls straight down. It's hilarious.
But Danzig has been known to stop a concert when someone is recording, which I think is ridiculous to stop because he doesn't want cameras in there. I also think if you're recording for long periods of time at a show, what the fuck are you doing? You're never going to watch it again. You're never going to watch it on your phone. Experience the live show. It's cool if you take pictures, all right? Take a couple pictures, but if you're there the whole time recording,
if you can't plug into the board, it's not going to sound good enough to listen to anyway.
Exactly. And again, like if you want a clip video of check where I'm at, like cool, like whatever. But you're never going to watch the concert again. There are people that record the whole fucking concert, and you're like, you're never going to watch that.
You just took a lot of space on your phone for no reason.
Yeah, you missed the whole fucking show. And I see people, and again, I'm short. So I'm that guy that has to tap on someone's shoulder and says, hey, can you scoot over or can I get in front of you?
HK Viper says Glenn Danzig would have been a great Wolverine casting. I disagree. I think Glenn Danzig takes himself far too seriously, and he's not a good actor. He can't even act like himself very well.
His look would have been perfect.
His look especially when he was younger, would have been perfect.
Yes.
They would have told him he had to cut his hair so they could do the thing, and he would have flipped out. He'd have been like, how would Satan find me?
I have a few friends that are huge Misfits and Danzig fans. Like they're very influential, and I agree. But I'm glad that you're like, hey, the music he made really influenced me, but the guy is something else.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Any interview he's been in is super hard to watch. Like he's weird.
Not everyone's meant to be on camera. Maybe you can sing, or maybe singing is it's what different people in different genres do may not be considered singing. I know Lou from Sick of It All is like, I wouldn't call what I do singing, but I'm the singer. I'm screaming, right?
Yeah.
But try and scream for 3 hours and see how you feel if you can go do it the next day. So
yeah, try doing it 30 days in a row.
Dude, I can't even imagine. I yell and scream up here on Monday nights, and I'm like, I gotta do a show on Tuesday too.
I did it 16, and by 15, I couldn't do it.
That's crazy. Now, so what kind, like, are you playing punk music? Are you actually now?
I've played lots of different types of
Okay.
music. Punk's what I first got into playing because it was easier to play, and then like and I started with bass before I moved to guitar, and like in the 90s when I found Primus, like I went crazy, and like to the point to where I went and got a new bass strap that was so incredibly low that I couldn't play like Les Claypool because that's all I would do, because it's super fun. You know, it's way fun, but it's not what I wanted to play. So I made my bass so low that I just couldn't. And then I was just like sitting down and doing it. And then I was like, you know what? How about if I just buy a guitar and move on? Because I'm a terrible guitarist.
So I was never in the Primus. Action Figure so definitely jumps in. Primus sucks.
Primus sucks. That's the joke.
I was never into Primus. It was one of those things where my musician friends were into it, and I'm not a musician. And
No.
I had musician friends that I would say, do you know who Good Riddance is?
No.
So Good Riddance, it's a California punk band. The singer is also in Only Crime. To me, they sound the same. And I said something to my buddy, and he goes, oh no. He goes, Only Crime, the guitarist sounds like, and I'm like, dude, you went over my head. Like the voice, the way, the cadence. He's like, the music. I'm like, man, I wouldn't want to be a musician. But I'm the same way with skateboarding. Like someone will watch someone skate and be like, that's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, that was the sloppiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You know? So
I'll still every now and then pop in like Frizzle Fry or Say Onion Seeds of Cheese, but like beyond that, like it gets really out there.
So I've never asked anyone this. Are you a Sepultura fan?
Dude. Sepultura with Max was so good.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is Sepultura still Sepultura?
Sepultura is still Sepultura, in my opinion. They're still talking about what they need to talk about. They're still playing metal. But I liked Sepultura after like Max started, it's like he met a few crust punks, and then like he started slowing everything down, concentrating on it being easy and heavy. And that's when that's like, dude, Earth AD is like.
So I used to hate Sepultura. My buddy, I'm like, sounds like death metal. It actually sounds nothing like death metal, but I don't know.
Originally it was death metal.
His voice just kind of has, but it really wasn't. Now I got into it, and then when they got the new singer, and I'm not even saying it's bad. I'm just like, when you lose a singer, and not just a singer, but really the creator of the band, his brother had already left, and then, basically he was kicked out of his own band in many ways. And I gotta say, the story of Sepultura and what
he had a Sharon Osbourne, didn't he? That's what happened, right? The band was like, nope, we're not doing this.
Well, when his daughter died, I want to say the guitarist basically tried taking over, and it really pissed off him and his wife. But have you ever listened to Cavalera Conspiracy?
I don't think so. Maybe.
So it is the Cavaleras got back together.
Okay.
So
no, I have heard of it, but I have not heard
Max and Igor got back together, and I was reading about it, and I love it.
Soulfly, because Soulfly is not that great.
Soulfly has some really good songs. It does not sound like Soulfly, because Soulfly is completely different. Soulfly kind of goes off the rails with a lot of the music that they're playing. Cavalera Conspiracy sounds like the early Sepultura, and I was reading in a magazine, and someone wrote in, and they were like, yeah, Cavalera Conspiracy sounds too much like Sepultura. And I'm like, oh, let me think about this. Two brothers that originally started it.
Yeah.
Are writing and sounding like early. I wonder why it sounds like it.
Yeah.
But I think you'll like that. That's that. If you like Chaos AD, you'll like Cavalera.
Yeah, Chaos and Roots are like my favorite Sepultura records.
So all right, so did you get into metal? Like what kind of music? I mean, for me, again, I don't know anything about music. I know that punk is considered really easy to play, and one of my
not all of it.
No, but punk rock for the most part is considered easy to play, where metal is considered hard. And I've argued with a lot of people. I'm like, just because somebody plays an easy style of music because they like it, it doesn't mean they're bad musicians. And there's a lot of these punk rock bands. Strung Out is one of them. They're hugely influenced by music. Rancid is another one. How fucking NoFX can actually, they can actually
that is not easy music to play right there. NoFX is not easy music to play.
But it's like, just because what they play is easy doesn't mean they're not good musicians.
No, absolutely not. That's not a thing. Like there are crappy musicians that played punk rock. The Germs. Yeah. None of them even knew how to tune their instruments. When they went to go to record, they taught them how to tune their instruments.
There are truly some bands that suck. But it's everywhere. I mean, it is. It's
and
everywhere.
Like the Germs, they were not a great band, but they were so influential because they were at the right time in the right place, knew the right people, and were saying the right things.
Yeah.
And so many people, like, you'll ask people what top 10 favorite punk bands from the 80s. The Germs is almost always in there.
Yeah. And again, I think it's I can go on all day. That's if I get someone on that uses a skateboard, it's like, oh shit, dude, I need to watch myself because everyone else is gonna be like, I don't care, I don't know. Punk rock. I do find, like, again, there is a lot more people that I found in the toy world that are punk rockers than I would have thought.
Yeah, we didn't play well with others out there.
What?
If you don't mind, I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll play a quick commercial here. Let's see here. I have something. Maybe I don't. I got all these different commercials and I can never find one. But you know what? Where is I think this one.
Welcome back to Late Night with Mothman. Oh man, we've had such a crazy ride so far with all the amazing guests and shows that we've watched throughout this 36-hour stream. And I want to make sure y'all know we got to keep donating. We got to keep getting them numbers up. Skeletor, what are you doing here? Skeletor has come for the circle jerk. Come again? That's the plan. Skeletor, I think you're confused. There's no this is a Late Night with Mothman, so I don't know what you're referring to. Man, Tony's Figs told me I could meet 4 bald men here for a circle jerk. And Skeletor will not leave until he's satisfied. Skeletor, I think you might be confused with the show. It's called Circle of Jerks, and they're not on right now. Then they do a show like every week or every other week or something. I don't watch it. Fool! I promise you, Skeletor is not confused. Skeletor, I'm trying to tell you there's no circle jerk going on here right now.
I got this. Skeletors. What you're looking for is it's back here in the back.
Yes, Skeletor will be satisfied. I don't even know what's happening anymore, guys. So, maybe we just kick it back to the 36-hour live stream, and y'all just keep donating money for Toys for Tots. Yeah, Late Night with Mothman, I guess.
I've definitely got to get more Mossman stuff from Ted. So Tim Brower here. Metallica, Megadeth, AC/DC, Trivium, Godsmack, Disturbed, Pantera. Some of my favorites. Okay, anytime someone says Pantera is one of their favorites, I think you're on mute.
Well, lost me with the last 3 on that one. Godsmack, Disturbed, and Pantera. No.
So anytime someone says that Pantera is one of their favorites, and when someone tells me how Pantera is like, and again, I'm not trying to insult you, Tim, because I don't want to lose a viewer. I really like Cowboys from Hell. But I remember when it first came out. When people talk about how they're the heaviest band, I go, you ever hear fucking power metal? You ever hear Projects in the Jungle?
You ever heard the Melvins?
Yes. I've seen the Melvins.
Yeah, the Melvins are way heavier than Pantera.
I've seen some really crazy fucking bands. You probably have. I would assume you have too. You know,
You ever
back
heard
in
of
high
Ohm?
school, it was every week. What?
Ohm is just two bass players, dude. Or not, yeah, Ohm. Or
I've never heard
Sun are two bass players, and they come out on stage, two basses, more speakers and amps than you could possibly think anyone would want to travel with at all. And they're wearing like druid robes, and it's an experience, dude. They just play droney, like really slow, no drums, nothing, just two basses, and they're loud, and it's an experience, dude. It's like sit back and watch the show, like take some LSD, some mushrooms, smoke some weed or something, and just chill. And you find yourself just like grooving to it.
Not a place that I would be then.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people like the band Ghost or Slipknot. Now I'll be honest, you'd never catch me owning a Slipknot album, but when I used to listen to Sirius, a Slipknot, I like, you know what? They actually have some good songs that I like. They were heavy, but the way they came out with a bucket on their head and then Ghost comes out and everyone's like, oh, I'm like, motherfucker, go watch Gwar. All right, I'm sorry. Go watch early Gwar. All right, I'm sorry. After Odorous died, I'm glad they went on. They had a singer that sounded like Odorous, and they should have not brought back Odorous, but they should have had his bastard child that sang and looked similar to him. That's what they should have done. And I'm glad they kind of went in a different direction, but it's not the same. But anytime I hear someone talk about what a show this band did, I'm like, you ever see fucking Gwar? And they're like, no, or I miss them, or I wouldn't want to go to, like, dude, listen, when you get cum and piss and shit all over you, it's not real. I mean, but you wore a white shirt for a reason, and then you never washed it.
Yep.
And again, Gwar was the experience. I mean, I saw them so many times. I even saw the new one when they were on the Warped Tour, which I don't know. Gwar on the Warped Tour, just like not really the same.
Yeah, I want to like Ghost, but I just can't get into it. I think we were talking about this on Toy Snobs. Toy Snobs is a show I do Saturday nights with the guy that we just talk shit about toys. So if you're not into talking shit about toys, don't watch it because we're just but anyway, and my co-host Lights Cam AF, he really likes Ghost, and I think it might have been Riles in the chat that said it was like, if you think of Ghost like this, then maybe you can get into it. And I forget what it was. So Riles, if you're still here, tell me what it was, because I can't remember.
I will tell people something sucks, and I want you to kick back and be like, and I've had people say it, like when I say, like, dude, that fucking band sucks, or top 40 music sucks, and they're like, well, what if I told you punk sucks? I'll be like, I don't care. It doesn't change how I feel about it. Like, I want you to kick back. I want you to have a fucking backbone.
Yeah, maybe you should just learn from what I just said. I don't care if you don't like it.
Exactly. Like when I tell people soccer sucks, and they go, what if I told you skateboarding sucks? I go, awesome. It doesn't change how I feel about it. Just like me telling you soccer sucks and you love it, doesn't change how you should. Have a backbone and tell me I'm a piece of shit for saying it. I'd
rather they wouldn't be that way. I'd rather they would just be more like, well, I don't care what you think.
That's exactly it. And again, like, you know, when people go like, everyone's not like you, I'm like, thank God. Like, not everyone wants to be like me. All right.
You know, the world couldn't handle two dead mans. I know that is a fact.
No. Not everyone wants to be straight edge. Okay. I don't want everyone to be straight edge. All right. Like, I've seen how some people are. Some people need the alcohol and they need the weed, and some of those people, I need them to have it. You know, there are those people that I'm like, I don't ever want to be around you when you're drunk. But then there are those other people that you're like, dude, you fucking need a drink. Just please
go to a bar, have 3 shots of whiskey and a beer, and come back and talk to me.
Exactly.
Only with me, I'm like, let's go to a bar, have 3 shots of whiskey and a beer, and then we can start talking.
See, I don't have a problem going to bars, but I'll tell you what, as someone who's been straight edge my entire life, as the one that's always sober no matter what, Drunk people are fun like this, and then it is a quick. You go from having a good time to all of a sudden like you are the most annoying motherfucker in the world. I don't want to be around you. It's time for me to. And I'm always driving, so I didn't ever have to worry. Like I can leave when I need to.
That's because you're sober though. Like if you're getting drunk with them, you would be just as ridiculous as they were.
I had an old friend say, "It is a good thing we don't drink," and I went, "It is, but why do you say that?" And he goes, "Because we are extremists for whatever we do, and we would have to be the best alcoholics possible." I never looked at it that way, but you are absolutely correct. We would be awful because we would have to fucking just be wasted and be. It showed people that we could drink more than them, and at 5'4", I'm heavier, but still, I'd probably get drunk pretty easily.
I tend to take on challenges. A couple weeks ago, somebody in the chat on Mercs Live, because I'll sit back and have a couple shots and drink a beer or two on Mercs Live, and a couple of shots. I'll drink a half a bottle of whiskey, to be honest. But somebody challenged me. They said, "I want to come on the show next week and go shot for shot with you," and I was like, "Okay." I don't think they had a very good day the next day. He kept saying, "Are you kidding? Again? Or what? And I went hard. It was stupid. Like it was dumb. Like my wife even was like, "Why are you so incredibly drunk after the show?" And I was like, "Well, this happened." She's like, "That's stupid." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's stupid, but I'm that guy though. If I'm challenged, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be better at it than you."
So I had some friends that if there was a professional drinking, I would call them professional drinkers. And it was New Year's Eve, and my kid's mother, when we were together, she drank with them, like she went shot for shot and everything. And I'm like, this is a bad idea. She fucking held her own.
Good for her.
Until we had to drive home. So you're driving home at 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 on New Year's. Now it's New Year's Day, and she's going, "You need to slow down." I'm like, I can't slow down any further or anymore, or else I'm going to get pulled over for going too slow. And then she's like, "Pull over." And sure enough, I pull over, and I think it was a CVS parking lot. She just threw up. Yep. But she held up to all of them, and they were all shocked. They didn't get to experience the drive home. And it was like a straight shot, like where he lived, like where we lived. It was right down Harper, but it was probably 7 miles. It was like 35 miles an hour where we're at. She's like, "You need to slow down." I'm like, I can't slow down. Like, we're 35 miles an hour. I cannot slow down.
Yeah, nobody drives 35 miles an hour in a 35. So yeah, I'm already looking suspicious here.
On now New Year's Day, because it starts off at New Year's Eve. So Alonzo Wilkinson jumping in here saying checking in. Dude, if you've never seen his customs, they are amazing. He nails, like, people send in pictures of themselves to get like their own custom figures done, and it looks nothing like the Hasbro selfie series.
Okay. So he's a sculptor as well.
Yeah, and he puts them out there. Like he does a great job. All right, so you get into music, which we've kind of talked about. Now, I'm gonna ask, did you graduate? Just because I love what you said earlier.
Yes, no.
So quickly, people tuning in right now, I once asked somebody if they graduated. I'm like, "So when you graduated?" And they were like, "Oh, I didn't graduate." So I always ask this ahead of time. So I asked you, and you're like, "Yes and no," and it's a really good story. At least for what you told me. You didn't even tell me the whole story.
Well, so I was a really bad student, but like, I mean, not bad. Like I got by with D pluses because I aced tests and I didn't do anything else. And I disrupted class. You know, I was class clown. Like I had fun at school, and I know you're not supposed to do that apparently, but one year it came down to it, and I had about 4 months of in-house suspension I had to do. because I just, and it was like random shit, just talking out of turn, and like just all kinds of just little shit that my teachers were they were just fed up with me, so they were just like, you're going in-house suspension for like the rest of the year. And they decided that since it was so much, they were just going to test me and try and get me to go into high school, and junior high. This is junior high. They tested me. Sure enough, I was smart enough to go to high school. They go to the high school. They give the principal my record. He looks at my last name. He's already dealt with 2 of my older brothers, and he was like, no way, not taking this guy. So I had to go to an alternative school. And when you have alternative school, you have alternative teachers, and we had an alternative principal who went insane the year I was supposed to graduate. Took everybody's records with her. So my entire graduating class, which wasn't that big, it was probably like maybe 22 people at the most.
Okay.
None of us got our diploma.
It's not funny, but you've had time to get over it.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I went through life, dude. I've been super successful as a chef. I'm doing really good as a carpenter now. Like, it doesn't matter.
Troy Believer says, I graduated but refused to go to the graduation. I wish my kids. I've been to 2. I hope I graduated, and 600 kids in my graduating class, 3 hours. And the only fun thing throughout the whole thing was that I did a backflip on stage as I walked from when they said my name to I grabbed the diploma. That was the only thing. It was the boringest thing. And my dad borrowed someone's camcorder, and it literally died like right after, within like 2 minutes after I did it, the battery died. So I have it somewhere. I got to get it transferred onto like digital. But I keep asking, like, kids, are you sure you want to go to the graduation? You don't have to. You're not gonna really remember it, like, other than like, this is boring as shit. But I only have one more to get through. Like, one more to get through.
Nice.
A year and a half, and then she's done. Actually, less than a year and a half. That one's gonna have all kinds of cords and ribbons, and yeah, she's the extremely smart. You guys all see her, so you guys all know who she is. All right, so after you graduate, do you go on to college, or do you go right into the workforce?
I'll go right into the workforce.
Did you go to college at all?
No.
Okay.
I should have, but I didn't. I should have went for art, because I can still draw real well, but like it was never a passion for me, but as I got older, it became more of a passion project every time I did it. I'd like,
all right,
I'd like to have to wine and dine myself into it. And like now it's like, I cannot just pick up a pencil and a piece of paper and draw something. I just cannot.
I've had a bunch of friends that like, they were really good artists and they had no passion for it. So like, it wasn't anything they went into. But I also had one of my best friends growing up for years. We couldn't let him keep score like with any games we were playing, because he started drawing. And next thing you know, there's bears fucking each other. Yoda's giving fucking Darth Vader a blowjob. And we're like, what's the fucking score? And he's like, I don't know, but look at Yoda. And you're like, what the fuck, dude?
He's like, the score is Vader 2, Yoda 0.
Wraith Mace saying, stop by, hit that like button, say hello to folks.
Wraith Mace, what's up?
And again, I don't know if he just couldn't keep his mind or he just didn't want to keep score, but either way, the moment he took the pad, we're like, no, fucking give it to us. No, fuck, we're never gonna know who won, and we're gonna have bears. And he seriously had like a whole thing of bears fucking each other. Like,
sounds like he needs to make a calendar for everybody.
You can talk to him. I don't talk to the guy anymore.
Oh.
That's another long ass story. All right, so how do you get into culinary?
The first job that I got, one of the guys that I was in bands with, he's like, hey man, you can come work at this place. I'm pretty sure if you put in an application, they'll hire you. They need a dishwasher. So, and the guy that they,
so you literally started as just working in a kitchen, not even like going to culinary school.
Nope. I never went to culinary school.
All right.
I became a chef on my own merits, like just
Okay.
from knowing how food works and knowing how spices work, knowing how herbs work. And that was something I had a passion for until I became a chef.
All right. So while in high school and stuff like that, you enjoyed actually cooking.
No.
Okay.
Nope. I actually didn't know how to cook in high school. I didn't know how to cook until I became a dishwasher. And one day, so I got the job of somebody they wanted to move up. So they put him up on the line, and he was fucking up so bad in 3 months that they had him leave, and they had me go take over him. They had to switch places. I had to take over his station, and it was just the salad and fryers. But I had no idea what I was doing. But the guy running the wheel would tell me how to do it. And I did it, and it was busy. It was a Friday night at the busiest restaurant in my town. It's called the Boat Shed.
Okay.
It was huge. We're talking there was probably, it was the middle of summer, and with the deck and the inside of the restaurant, there was probably 108 tables. That's just tables. It's not even seats. So the place got rocked, and I held my own. And so the next day, and I came back to work, I got a raise, and I was working online right then and there.
Nice. Let me ask you. I've never asked this on this show. My first job was Ponderosa. Started in the dishwasher, went to the cold buffet and the hot buffet. Eventually I was the cook. Now I know people laugh what do you cook at Ponderosa? You cook steaks. You cook, T-bones and chicken, whatever. But either way, when you're the head cook, again, I'm a kid, you get tickets, and the tickets come down and people are putting up and they throw the meat on there. I would wake up in my room dreaming of tickets, wake up, turn the light on. I look around, make sure I'm at home. I turn it on, and I fucking go right back to it. Do you ever have horrible nightmares like that?
No, never. I've worked some really, really busy places too. And I've had friends that would get jobs that would come in, and they would say Dude, I can't work there anymore. I'm having nightmares of the ticket machine.
So it's not just me.
No, it's not you, but I never did that. And again, I could always handle it. It was always never a big deal to me.
I didn't have a problem doing it. It was just I think it was working so much. You're going to high school still, and just seeing it. But I mean, I knew I was in a dream. I knew that I was in a dream, but you're scared of losing your job. I would wake up, I turn the light on, I look around, and I'm like, okay, I'm at home. And then as soon as
thank God I don't have to make all that food.
Yes, and then I go right back into the fucking dream, and you're like, oh. I was so happy to quit that job, only to find out that the next job was the worst job I've ever had in my entire life as a teenager. My worst job ever. Working in a nursing home. Don't do it.
I did that when I came back here. I'd already lost my passion for cooking because I was a chef. When I came back here, one of my first jobs was cooking in a nursing home, and it was only 3 days a week, and the pay was high, so it was good. But eventually, I couldn't hang with that. It wasn't enough. Wasn't enough money because, like I said earlier, I still don't make the money I made when I was in California and stuff.
I wasn't even a cook at the nursing home. I washed the pots and pans, and it was great hours. But every fucking friend that worked there said, "Don't get a job there," and I didn't believe them, and I did it. And I would have nervous breakdowns at 18 on my girlfriend's fucking on her floor. I don't think it helped that she wanted to go to school to be a psychiatrist. So that probably didn't help because she was trying to solve me. But the worst thing is, one of my friends that I worked there with, he became a chef, and he works at a nursing home, preparing the food up in Traverse City, Michigan, up north. And I'm like, I can't believe every now and then I'll be in a nursing home for work. I fix copy machines, and I'll shoot him a message. I'm like, man, the fucking smell is the exact same. And he'll be like, I live that every day. I'm like, that's your own fucking fault. That's your own fault. All right.
Yeah. Well, people get they get really comfortable, and that's what happened with me. I was really good at it, and I figured out how things work and the whole industry, and I got comfortable. And then it comes to the point where now I'm making all this money, but I don't have any time for anything. Yeah. I could not play shows. I'd have to miss practice some weeks too. It was bad.
And when it's your career, you make exceptions for stuff, because at some point I would assume at some point you realize I'm not going to be a music star. That's not going to be my profession.
I always knew that. I never played anything radio friendly enough.
But it's like, but what I'm saying is like, there comes a point that you realize like your passion, you're never going to make money. I can remember the day that the last time I lost my mind skateboarding, throwing my board, I sat down in my Dodge Neon, doing my board in my trunk. I sat down, I go, never again. I'm like, I'm never going to be professional. I'm breaking fucking boards because I'm mad. And after that, I can remember just picking up my board when I'm having a bad day. I'm like, hey guys, I'm out of here. And like, dude, what's up? I'm like, I'm just having a bad day and I'm going to get mad. I don't need to get mad. I'll come back tomorrow, man. I'm not like I'm going to quit skateboarding. I can remember the last time that I realized that, wait, this shit doesn't pay me. I pay it. But you make those sacrifices. But the fact that you realize like, hey, I don't make as much money as I did before, but I get to spend time with my family, or I get to do other stuff that I enjoy, it's way better than money, in my opinion.
It is. It is. It was hard to make that decision. My wife and I discussed it, and she was with me. What's up, damn Night King? Can't
be king of the world if you're a slave to grind. I agree. Yeah. And then absolutely. Joe Prime jumping in here saying, "What's up, all?"
Hey.
No, and it takes a lot for people to realize that. I know when my ex, she literally quit her job, and the next day she found out she was pregnant with our son. And we made the sacrifice of like, hey, if I can make enough money where you don't have to work and you can stay home and raise him, I would much rather that, because I would rather you call me when he says his first word or takes his first step than one of us picking him up from daycare and then going, oh, by the way, he walked for the first time. That's no one wants that, right? Like,
yeah, nobody wants that to happen to him.
Yeah, you want the mom or dad, or even maybe the grandparents. We didn't have grandparents watching them, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
make the sacrifices. And she made the sacrifice to leave, and now I live alone.
I couldn't imagine living without my wife. We've been together for like 17 or 18 years, 19 years, something like that.
It's pretty good.
No,
you know what? If someone finds someone that makes them happy, awesome. I mean, isn't that what we all want?
She's just the exception. She puts up with all my shit. We rarely even fight. Like, I mean, we get like right now, like lately, especially, we get a little worried about money with like my truck breaking down and all that. But like, right now we're making it work with one car. It sucks, but it's working.
So where are you at now?
I'm in Washington. I didn't move away when my mom died.
All right. So let's just kind of go back, because you get into, working as a chef, you work your way up. Now you alluded to having children that are not with your wife.
No, definitely not.
How many kids?
My wife's only like 4 years older than my son.
Do you mind me asking how many kids you have?
2.
Okay. Are they both from previous relationships?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened there? Were you married before, or did you just?
No. I did marry a woman before I married my wife. But we were into drugs and she didn't want to quit, so we're no longer together. And
and again, I can imagine that. I don't have to deal with that. But now is she the mother of your kids, or?
No.
Okay. Now, I guess what I'm asking, did you have a relationship with the mother of your
children?
Of your kids? Yeah.
No.
Or was it?
Neither one of them. I had a relationship with them at one point.
Yeah.
But neither one of them. My firstborn's mother, she just went insane one day. She doesn't even talk to her own family. And my mother, my daughter, she's just a bitch. Seriously, like, so I was sending her. My daughter was really into like Super Sentai, like that whole scene, like Power Rangers and stuff, but like the real shit. And So I showed her Kakaida. It's like the first thing of that. First thing. And like so every year I was sending her a different DVD of Kakaidas in order. And one time it happened to show up to her house 2 days early, and she called my mother bitching that I didn't know my daughter's birthday. Because the mail was faster.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's that woman. That's how she is. So yeah, I don't speak with her.
I can imagine. I can't imagine that.
Dude,
that's what some people are.
there's 4 birthdays that I remember. It's my wife's, mine, my son's, and my daughter's. That's it. I don't remember anybody else's birthday. I don't remember my brother, even though I dealt with however many of them I've dealt with. You know, like I don't remember my mother's birthday, my father's. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, as long as you know your kids and your significant other.
Yeah.
I think it's important to know your parents, but I didn't know my mom's for the longest time. But again, I know the day she died.
Yeah,
it took me, and again, I guess you don't celebrate them, right? I didn't celebrate it for the longest time, and then I'm like, oh, it's April 2nd. Like, there's nothing for me to celebrate.
Yeah, I remember the day my mother died as well.
Yeah, it's one of those. It stands out. My mom died on February 17th. Obviously many years ago. And then my daughter came on February 18th. Now it didn't bother me. My ex, she wanted that girl out. Like my daughter did not want to come out. And she was like ready. She's like, all right, now. As soon as she knew that it was safe. But that 17th came up and she's like, not today. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. My dad doesn't care. She's like, that day it means something, and your aunt will probably make it. Oh my God, this is a sign. I'm like, who cares what the fuck my aunt says? I mean, but I like to say that I'd like to say my ex held it as long as possible, but I swear I think Olivia would still be there. She would still be there because that girl did not want to come out. They did everything they could. They did everything that they could. They induced her. That little girl was not coming. Dan the Night King says, God forbid you ship things early.
Yeah.
No, that's yeah. So do either one of your kids live around you, or?
My daughter lives semi-near. My son also lives semi-near.
Like would you consider that like?
I live in on an island called Bainbridge Island in Washington, and my daughter lives about with the ferry ride about 2.5 hours away. My son lives about an hour drive away.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But that's with how long is the ferry ride?
30 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, I mean, it's not.
It took me an hour and 10 minutes to get home from the job that I finished today. Although I did get a $30 stinger today, so I was excited for that. I didn't think I'd really find one at Ross.
That's good.
I'm like, where's the closest Ross? I'm like, I know I'm not going to find anything, and there one was. Do I need another stinger? No. Was I going to buy one for $30? Yes.
I don't pass anything like that going home and to work. My boss, we're cabinet makers for the most part. We do some pretty crazy remodels. Like we'll do some shit. But for the most part, we just like redo kitchens and bathrooms.
Yeah.
And he lives about 1.5 miles away. And we build everything in his garage. And then we take it to the job, and then we rip the place apart, which is always my favorite day. Demo is always my favorite day. It's my boss's favorite day too, because he knows he doesn't need to do anything. He's just like, I'm just going to be in your way if I'm here. So I'm going to go and get our next job. You have a good day. So I get to rip the whole place apart myself. And it's a lot of fun. And, just feels good. And then, And then, so there's nothing on the island. There's like a Safeway. There's a local grocery store, which is way better than Safeway, but it's really expensive. And then there's like a Walgreens and a bunch of restaurants like that.
Is it a tourist place? Like in the
not really, but there's a lot of money here.
Okay.
I lucked out when we found this place. We were living in a cabin in this place called Indianola, Washington, which is I mean that place is the woods, and we lived in a cabin in the woods, and I loved it. My wife hated it, but I loved it. She's like, "Can we just move somewhere that has fucking drywall?" Like, I'm like, what do you mean? Like she's like, yeah. But I loved it out there. But yeah, we moved here. We found this place for as cheap as it is, and yeah. So like, I drive my truck the majority. If I have to go to the dump like twice, I might have put 11 miles on my truck in a day.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's really nice. It's really chill. But I don't get to go to Target on my way home. You know.
Yeah, I have so many targets. I mean, I can't stop. I mean, living in the Metro Detroit area, I think when people are like, yeah, the closest Target I have is like 30 minutes away. Like, if I drive 30 fucking minutes, I can probably hit 5 Targets and 4 or 5 Walmarts.
And 8 Walmarts.
Yeah, like, there's so many. Now, Ross's we don't have. They've just started coming here. There's a Ross by me. I've found very little there. But we also have a lot of people that they scalp. They go looking for stuff, and then they're at the shows trying to sell the stuff. Yeah. This one was an hour and a half, over an hour away from me, because I was downriver on the other side of Detroit. But I was like, I looked where, I'm like, it's 3 miles away. I'm going to go there. They're not going to have anything. There was a stinger, and then this guy comes up behind me and goes, is that he had some Star Wars. He's like, is that the only one? I'm like, yeah, I didn't think I was going to find it. You know, but I wanted to get one to turn into a police car, because I have a bunch of police officers, so I think it's going to work out.
Okay.
But anyway, but you were saying you don't pass up any because you don't.
No, and I mean, I leave the island like every other week, because I mean, there's an island tax. Everything here has a 10% tax on it. I swear to God, everything here is 10% more expensive than it is off the island. So I'll go shopping off the island every like 2 weeks, and I'll drive to either the Walmart or the area the Target is at. The Target is 45 minutes away.
So you'll stay on the island for like over a week, not leaving?
2.
So how big is the island?
From one point to the other, it's about 11 miles straight through.
Oh, that's okay.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Because I was thinking like a couple mile island. I'm like, damn it, that seemed like you'd get.
No, there's like there's
that big.
No, yeah, like any celebrities from Washington, they live on this island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are there any celebrities from Washington?
Well, the guy who was the professor on Gilligan's Island, he lived here till he died.
Why would that guy live on a fucking island?
I don't know. But
I'm sorry.
The drummer for the Blues Travelers, he owns a pot shop here on the island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the bass player for Soundgarden, he grew up here. He also lives here. My boss knows him. I don't care. I know people that know him, and he doesn't seem like a really cool person, but but I know his brother. His brother's really cool.
No, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, because when you say island, I think of like a smaller island.
Oh yeah, well, this is Washington. We have those too, but we have a lot of like really big islands here.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering, because we have a place called Harson's Island. I haven't been there since my aunt lived there 30 years ago or whatever, because you got to take a ferry there. And it's the biggest thing that I remember about it is when it rained hard, everyone was putting sandbags down. So,
we have some areas like that on the island.
I'm like, Dad, why are they doing that? He's like, because everything floods.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm like, he's like, yeah, don't live on an island. But I never really thought about getting. But if it's 11 miles, I mean, there's people that don't leave. I mean, my city is only like 5 square miles. Now,
yeah,
I'm surrounded by much bigger cities, and then
yeah.
I can go right to Detroit. I mean, Detroit is less than 11 miles from my house, so I have everything. So, like I said, like when someone tells me it's 30 minutes to their Target, I'm like, I passed like 4 Targets in that time.
Well, I mean, it's been good for me too, because it's like, it's really like, I've spent less money on toys since I moved here.
It sounds like you would.
Yeah, and also like because of because of like buying, just like pre-ordering stuff and getting it in the mail, like my tastes have changed. Also photography has changed my tastes. Like I almost never buy a figure that doesn't have soft goods anymore. Like serious. Like if I'm buying a figure, it probably costs me $85, and I do that like 3-4 times a year instead of.
I am not good with photography, but I've gotten into it and I
You're
enjoy
getting better.
it. Thank you. I enjoy it, and believe me, hey, that figure is $110. I don't really want it, but look at that one accessory there. And next thing you know, it's in your hand and you're like,
I don't do that anymore. I used to do that too. I don't do that anymore.
It is like you find yourself getting little things because it has an accessory. Now,
Yep.
I try not to do that. Like, but the accessories will sell. Like, I might look at a NECA that's $40 and be like, there's 4 little accessories there. Now, normally you'll buy it and you'll be like, oh shit, I already have accessories like this. I didn't need these ones, but now I have multiple.
Yeah.
That is what photography definitely does to you, or doing any type of dial. You start looking for little things.
That's how I got into Instagram. I was building dioramas.
Yeah, and I know I've just gotten a whole bunch from action figures sold separately, but somebody just asked on Facebook about the extreme sets. They asked if they come with parts, and
they come in a sheet, and you have to like break them apart and fold them
some
up.
of them go together really nicely. But Matthew, my moderator, he does photography, and he's like, it's all about what you want to put onto it. Yep. Because you can have that background, and as long as you kind of blur out the background, you still want crates and boxes and little things like that. That's what gives you that 3-dimensional stuff. You have a built-in, set in the back, but if that's all you have, it's gonna look like, okay, well, it's nice.
Well, and you also got to be careful with your lighting with those. I have one, and I haven't been able to use it because I went to build some shelves for my room, and my boss was like, "Oh, you got to build something cool." So I built something cool, and it's so big that it takes up half of where I shoot now, so I can't even set it up. But you have to be careful with them, because if you shine a light at the right angle on those things, you could tell they're flat.
Oh yeah, and they get a glare to them.
Yeah,
like, and here,
and that's how you could tell it's flat.
Yep, here it is. Dan the Night King saying they're so shiny. And again, like, I like them. I have a few.
But there's things you can do to combat the shininess. So you use softer lights, use diffusers, also use a like a really slow shutter speed, so you don't have to use that much light. Use a slow shutter speed, and it'll draw in light the entire time that it takes to close. And that's, like I shoot at a minimum of 3.5 seconds. Sometimes I go up to like 6.
See, I do everything on my iPhone, so I give credit to the iPhone for everything that I do.
I started with a phone too. I just got to a point where like I was so into the photography that like the only way that I could excel was to get a camera.
No, and yeah, and like do you know who Emerald Knight is?
Yeah, I know.
I loved what he used to do, and I've had him on the show, and I've talked to him at Joe Fest. He would take a shot and then he would say what camera he's using, what shutter speed. And I'm like, that's really cool, because you're not gatekeeping. You're giving people an idea of what you're using, what they can do.
Yeah. Yes and no. Well, the thing about that is when people put all that in their post, unless you're showing us the behind the scenes, we don't know like what your room lighting is, what the lighting on the. Yeah, that's what it really matters. Like all that other shit's not that big.
But again, there are people that don't want to tell you anything, and this is not photography. That's the customizers. I mean, how many customizers don't want to tell you? And it's like, what paint did you use? Like, let people know. Create content, make some money that way.
That's not that big. That's not that big of a deal anymore. So gatekeeping is why I started Toy Mercs.
We talked about the whole gatekeeping thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about the customs. It was also like just like how to like get more eyes on your photos, and like there was groups out there that were like they were there to help you, but you had to bend over backwards to get them to do it.
I feel like there's a specific group you're talking.
There's probably more than one. But seriously, there's that, and then there's the ACBA guys that are just straight up like, this is how you do it. That's it. Everything else sucks. And it's like, no, Photoshop is a thing.
That's actually who I thought you were.
No. Those guys are cool as long as you just do it their way, which for the most part I do, because I don't really have a lot of time to learn. Like, I have Photoshop and I do use it. I use Lightroom more than anything, but yeah, and I've done a lot of like adding digital effects and stuff in the past, but it's not my thing. It's not how I shoot. But I respect the people that do. It
all depends. If you're using too much AI in anything, I hate it. I'm not.
There's so much AI use in photography right now that it's insane. I don't necessarily hate it. Me personally, it's not for me. I work with a guy who does tons of AI in his photography, but he's shooting actual figures and he's using actual lights.
Well, and again, for the background and certain things like that, okay. But something I have a bigger issue with AI, with people making figures move.
Yeah, I hate that.
They look stupid.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate it.
I don't. Though I gotta say, my moderators will know if either one of them are listening. I think there was 2 AI things. They weren't toy related. There was 2 AI things that I sent to him. Like, AI wins today.
Oh, well, Action Figs though, he does a few of those videos, and they're done well. Like, there's people that like just like take a photo and then like the photo like just does an action like yes, just starts walking or something. I fucking hate those.
Awful.
And so with the whole Toy Mercs thing, like, it's part of the community. I have to be okay with it, at least there. And I try not to be too loud about how much I hate it, because I don't want people to get mad at Toy Mercs because of something I said. Because don't get it twisted, Dead Man and Toy Mercs are 2 different things.
That, so it's funny you say that, because that's kind of something like I've had to talk to the circle of jerks. Like, hey, I want to blast all these assholes on Facebook too. But as our show is growing, you can't do that, because there have been times on Facebook where someone asks what I consider a dumb question, and I want to say something fucking stupid. It just happened a couple weeks ago. And rather than being a dick about it, because they didn't want to just Google, I told them, I'm like, hey, well, this is what it is. And their response was, oh man, I love your reviews. Now, if I'm a dick, they're gonna come back and be like, oh, what a fucking asshole. I'm gonna watch this shit anymore. So I gotta tell the guys, you gotta watch what you do. And I've always, like, when I started my channel, I said I want to succeed on my own or fail on my own, because I don't want to be connected to someone and I say something that's going to bring other people down. Because you get that.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I can be a lightning rod. I can go off. There are things that I don't like.
I know. We've talked about a few of those things.
I don't hide it. People have always told me, like, you can't really hide when you don't like things. I'm like, I just don't want to. It's not that I can't. I just don't want. Why am I going to waste my time? It's a lot of effort that I don't need to just eliminate that. I feel like you're probably the same way. Like, I don't need to.
Yeah, and yeah, I am that way.
I got to tolerate stuff at work. I don't need to do it in my personal life.
In my personal life, I'm way more opinionated than I am here, but I'll give my opinion here. I'll give it. I'll be nicer about it sometimes. Sometimes I won't. Like, when McFarlane releases a fucking Superman and he only comes with fucking trigger fingers, no, I'm gonna fucking call that out, because that's dumb as shit.
Well, I'm one of those people that I have recently been calling out, like, Marvel Legends. Like, you're giving me open hands or fists, but I don't have anything to hold stuff.
Yeah.
Every hand, like, I think every figure, maybe not a superhero, like maybe like Superman, almost every figure should have trigger fingers, because you can use them for certain things.
Yeah.
Probably Mythic Legions probably don't need trigger fingers, right? There's swords and stuff like that, right? But like every Marvel Legend, and I don't care if I don't care if a figure has a hand like this or the trigger finger. I don't have a problem with a knife with the trigger finger. That doesn't bother me. Then you can
So
always
that
cut.
shit bugs me.
What?
That shit bugs me.
But it doesn't bother me. That's all I'm saying. Like it does. But if I have a figure that they have an open hand like this or a fist, a lot of the female Marvel Legends, they can't hold anything.
No,
How many
they always have that one
Wolverines-
hand that's like this for some
Yes.
reason.
I'm sure I have some lying around me. How many Wolverines can't hold anything because he's either punching or he has claws?
Yep.
Well, I want my Wolverine to pick things up every now and then.
Yeah. He's got to pet that picture of Jean, right? And cry, right?
No. Yeah. Look, now that's being triggered. Yes. No, and again, if you're doing photography, I do understand a lot of people, they don't want the. And again, if you gave me Marvel Legends and it just gave me at least a hand to hold stuff, that's cool. I can always cut the finger.
Well, you see, it never bothered me. That shit didn't bother me for the longest time until I bought my first Mezco. The first Mezco I got was Conan the Barbarian. That figure showed up, and I was like, I was never going to buy a Mezco because it would always cost too much money. You know, that's too expensive for a figure. That's stupid. It's just a toy. And then I got that thing, and I was just like, I go back on everything that I've said about Mezco.
Well, I'm not going to go back on everything. They have the worst fucking customer service ever.
Really, I've never had an issue. I broke a sod cutter. It's a figure. Anyway, you probably don't know what it is, but I broke him, and I broke him on live. Actually, he's right here. And I emailed them. Within 2 weeks, I had a new one. No problem. I had to send the old one to them. So, like,
that's understandable.
Okay.
I mean, for as much as you're paying, I have no issues sending it back.
But so I bent his arm, which I'm not going to mess with too much right now, on a live stream, and it just busted.
Damn, the Night King says he remembers. No, I've had my Duke had two things break, his backpack and his gun. I reached out to them, said, hey, the gun broke. Is there any way that you can replace it? Yep, no problem. Give us 6 to 8 weeks. I waited 8 weeks. I messaged them. Don't get anything back. Messaged again. I get a really snotty fucking email back stating something like, we're real busy right now, but if you want to just send the figure back, we can refund your money. No, I don't. I just wanted the fucking gun that you said that you were going to. Now, this was over a year ago. This is now a year and a half. Then came the Rumbler issue. So you know the Mezco Rumbler, right?
Yeah.
I ordered it. And Bobby B got his, and other people were getting it. And mine had a shipping label created, but hadn't moved.
Yeah,
and
that happens with Mezco sometimes.
Yep. So I was reaching out. I'm getting the generic answer back. Finally, somebody reaches out. Someone I'm talking to says, hold on. Try and contact this company. They're the logistic company. Look, like Geek says, oh, the Rumbler. He says they're the logistics company. Maybe they can help you out. So I call them, and they're like, yeah, there's nothing that we can do because this is a shipping label. But if you contact them, they should be able to initiate an incident. And I was like, I don't know how to get a hold of them because I only have their generic. So she's like, I don't have a number either, but I have these email.
Oh.
And I contacted, and these were people. One was something with relations. I'm not sure who the other one was. And still nothing. And finally, I sent it to 5 fucking people at Mezco. 5 fucking people. And I said, if something isn't done about this, I'm going to dispute this on my credit card because this is $350.
Yeah.
And again, I don't have to be first, but Bobby B now has had his for a month and a half, and his label was created the same time mine was.
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, once I said that I was going to dispute that, they messaged back right away and said, we'll be sending you out another one. Okay. Then the next, and it came right away. The next week, they sent out a whole thing saying that there was a bunch of rumblers that got missed. I'm like, how many people weren't fucking contacting them, or are you just not fucking like talking to them?
Wow.
Yeah, there was a like they sent out a whole thing that there was a whole bunch that were lost, and I'm like, are people not reaching out to them? Because I'm sorry, $350 is still $350 for a fucking toy.
Yeah.
Or are you just brushing it off? Then I started having numerous people reach out to me going, hey, what are those emails? Can I get them? I'm like, fuck yeah, you can. I gave it out to like 3 or 4 different people that were like, I can't get like Mezco's not getting back to me. And sure enough, man, send it to all of them. And you say, I'm gonna dispute this, and they quickly did something. So I'm sorry, like man, awful customer service. And I'm not I keep hearing it.
Yeah, I never had an issue. I've only ever had to contact him once though. I did contact him because my leather face, Bubba. Everybody got Bubba before I did. Everybody did, and I was just like, it was like 3 months, and everybody had theirs, and I was like, well, it's mine, and they just generic answer, and then it showed up in like 2 weeks after that. But it just like took forever, and maybe it was because of when I ordered it. I don't know, but that's the only issue I've ever had with Mezco. I do have some issues, like I don't like their superhero figures at all. I think they look stupid. I think Batman looks like a midget in a onesie every time they make him because his head is just as big as his body.
Yeah, there are some issues with, like, I really like the Rumble Society. I don't collect it, even though I just got the Nocturnal, and then I have the Death Adder that came with it. But I like most of them. It's just not my thing. But when it comes like the G.I. Joes, like Roadblock should be bigger, but he's actually shorter than Snake Eyes because he's done on a basic buck. He's just a little bit like, if someone doesn't point it out, I believe he's just a bit shorter, but he's too small. Like he should be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I don't have any of my Joes on display right now because I just don't. So couldn't tell you.
But the the Mezco one's right up there, and it seems like they.
Oh, the Mezco Roadblock. Yeah, I've heard a lot of.
No. The classified Roadblock is big.
Yeah.
Him and Gung Ho are on those big bucks. I know the Mezco one is just a little too small.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't buy any. I didn't buy any of the Mezco Joes. I thought about the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes, but I just didn't do it. I just never pulled the trigger.
Storm Shadow is very frustrating for me. Because you move them and everything, like things get knocked off. Because
yeah.
System, Destro is
just those little hooks.
Yes. Just moving that stupid fucking Doc Nocturnal, like things kept falling off. I'm like,
yeah, I bought 2 Destros, but I ended up giving them away for giveaways, for Toy Mercs giveaways.
It's such a good figure.
I never opened them.
Yeah, you can get them for like $50. They constantly go on sale. You get it for like $50, and anyone that asks, I'm like, buy it. You will not. I spent $110 on it, I think. I waited like 2 years to get them, and I don't regret it at all.
You're welcome to Mezco.
Exactly. That was. I could remember. It was funny because he got delivered, and I was out skating with my buddies, and like, hey, we're going to get something to eat afterwards. I'm like, dude, I have a fucking figure that I've been waiting for 2 years to get,
and I got to sign for it.
No, I already had it delivered or shipped elsewhere.
Oh,
I learned.
Yeah, I do that too. I get it shipped to the Walgreens. There's a Walgreens pretty close to me, so I'll just
not doing that now.
What's that?
Mezco's not doing that now.
They're still using FedEx. You just had FedEx do it.
That Doc Nocturnal went out. UPS and got transferred over to the post office and just dropped off at my door.
Oh,
yes. And then I said, I want to say it was Spec on Circular Jerks. I asked, I'm like, hey, has anyone had any issues with Mezco? Like, have you seen that they're switching? Because I heard they switched. They switched partners. And then Baldy, who works in logistics for something else, said UPS and the post office just came up with a deal. So you're going to see all kinds of fucked up shit with one dropping it off to the other and shit. Like,
The last thing that I got from Mezco was the black and white Nosferatu, which I still haven't opened. I can't. I'm sitting at a desk right now, and I can't even get all the way underneath it because it's just packed full of figures I haven't opened.
See, I can't do that. I have 2 figures downstairs that I haven't opened, which means I'm not super into them.
I used to not be able to do it, but I just don't have the room to put them anymore.
Yeah, I think also doing reviews because, one of the things that people always say is like, they're like, why you get your reviews out so fast? I'm like, it's because I have to open my figures. And the way that I do my reviews is always like, someone told me that I lied about having Cover Girl, that I knew that her arm was broken because I made a comment about it, and then her arm was actually broken. And I had to go back and rewatch it. And it was just, if something was rattling around in the box. And I was like, I hope her arm's not broken. And sure enough, it was. And then someone called me out, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. Now I'm going to open it up, and you're going to see. And so I want to open my figure. So I get everything set up, and I do my reviews, and they go out pretty much not instantaneously. Sometimes they take a couple days before I'll drop it, depending on how many I've dropped ahead of time. But that's why I do them so quick. I'm like, I can't. I want to open it up. I want to play. You got a new toy. Got to go play with it. But I have a Street Fighter figure downstairs. I've had them for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't even want these figures anymore.
Which one is it from Jada?
Yeah, it's the latest one that came out.
I got a few of those, and those are really fun figures.
Oh, they're great.
They're unbelievably well made.
They're great. It's the latest one, but I didn't play Street Fighter as a kid, but all my friends did. So that's how I knew all the characters. I don't remember who this guy was. It's the.
What's he look like?
I don't know. He's downstairs.
What does he look like? What does he look like? He's got a bald head. Is he really tall? Is he?
No. It was one of the later characters, I think, and not one of the main ones that like Chun-Li and all them. Someone will tell me. Come on, there's got to be someone that knows. Whatever one that BBTS just started shipping.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I haven't bought one in a while. So
anyway, he's sitting downstairs. And I look at him like, I'm clearly not going to do a review on him. It's been too long. Well, I can't think of who it is. I think he has he actually looks like if I remember correctly, his head kind of looks like Hella Geek's avatar.
It's on fire.
Kind of. Akuma, that's it.
Akuma. Oh, that's probably a great figure. I need to get that one actually.
I have no complaint with any of them other than Dalsim, because Dalsim has always creeped me out with the long arms. Not gonna lie. The figure's fine when you don't have the long arms. My long arms will never be on it because it's always creeped me out.
That's fair. Nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Fantastic doesn't creep me out, but Dalsim has always.
Well, Mr. Fantastic is wearing clothing over it too. It's not like got weird muscular.
Maybe that's it. But like I say, even the video game, I don't know. It's always creeped me out.
And why does he yell yoga all the time?
That's a great question.
He doesn't even yell it. He just like says it all nonchalant too. He's all yoga.
He's not even wearing yoga pants.
No, he's not.
All right. So, what is it that you collect now? First off, how long have you been into collecting? Because it sounds like you got out of it. When did you get back into it?
I got back into it shortly before, basically when I moved back here. Because I wasn't playing music because I just didn't have the time because I was working and like dealing with my mother and all that. Like I didn't have any time, so that's when I got back into collecting. Was when I moved back here, and that was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it was before the whole COVID thing, but like right before COVID hit, I decided that I had all these action figures. I needed a way to display them, so I started building dioramas.
All right.
And
so, are you still building dioramas, or?
I'm in the middle of one that I started last year. Yeah, I was terrible at photography, but I was good at doing terrain, and I was working like an in-between job, and this guy dropped a pallet of wood on my middle finger on my left hand, like a pallet of like those like pressed logs. It was super heavy. and I lost all feeling in my finger. And it was like squished, and it was just gnarly, like it was bad, and I couldn't hold a knife anymore. So I got into photography, and that's how I learned how to like take photos and like work with lighting and all
You
that.
still have issues with your finger?
No,
Okay.
but it felt like it was asleep for about 2 months before all the feeling came back.
That's rough.
Yeah.
that is rough. Probably every time you tapped it against something, it probably hurt too.
Yeah.
All right. So you said about 10 years ago. Is there anything specific that you collect? Like, or you just
back then it was all nostalgia, you know, it was like, oh, I read comic books, Captain America. I need all the Captain Americas I can find, you know, Wolverine's fun. I need all the Wolverines, you know, it was all nostalgia at first. And then as I got more and more into photography, like I started thinking like, you know, what I really like is horror. So I started getting like the NECA horror figures. And then I started getting horror figures with soft goods, and, you know, and then I got into Warhammer. Oh boy, did I get into Warhammer.
I knew nothing about Warhammer, and then I still know nothing about it. I didn't realize Warhammer had been around for as long as it has. And then I've had a couple people on here. Wraith Mace actually just popped in. I've chatted with him about it. I didn't realize how crazy Warhammer is.
It is insane.
I don't. And I'm glad I never got into anything like that. I'm okay with my G.I. Joe and superheroes and other stuff like that. I don't ever want to get into.
Yeah, the thumbnail that you used for this video is it's actually a custom Warhammer figure that I made.
Oh, is it?
I customized it, yeah.
I was looking for some, like, you had a lot of different ones, and I'm like, I want to use toy. I don't want to use Toy Mercs because technically, like you said, you're not fully Toy Mercs, although and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
And some of yours was kind of like, I couldn't tell. And the last thing I wanted to do was use a picture, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, that was someone else's picture.
Yeah, I hear you. So you're like, this one's pinned, so I'm probably safe. Right?
Yeah, something that looked good, and then I obviously want to put in the, Thursday with a friend and everything. Some people I can kind of just look at their Instagram and be like, all right, perfect pictures or whatever, like perfect to do because I know it's theirs or whatever. All your stuff, I was kind of like, can I use this? Can I use that? Other people have like they're posting for like the joint shows that they do, and I'm like, it's not really them. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
You want a little bit of focus on them.
And you had to I'm sure you had to go pretty far down to find anything that wasn't pinned because I haven't taken a photo in a long time.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I did scroll down pretty far. Then there's other people I was scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, I can't find anything. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I have a picture of them at Joe Fest or wherever. So if I have a picture with somebody, I try and use that, like if we're together. But I've scrolled through some of those people, and then 10 minutes into it scrolling, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I have a picture with them. That will work.
Yeah.
So if you got into it 10 years ago, how do you justify it to your wife that you're going to start spending money on toys? Or did she not even care?
Then at that point I was working 2 jobs because I didn't like not having the money that I had in California at that point. So I was tending bar Friday and Saturday nights, and I was working construction at that time. So I was taking home with the tips. I was spending all my tip money on it. Like, okay. She didn't know how much money I got in tips, and I worked at a bar that was like an old people bar, and the ladies loved me. All the old ladies thought I was the coolest thing in the world. They gave me so much money, like. And nowadays I just don't buy them that often anymore because all the figures that I buy now are like really expensive. Like I did go all out on the Death Guard for Warhammer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still into Warhammer then?
Oh yeah, I'm into Warhammer.
So would you consider that like your biggest property that you're doing, or?
As far as property, like something that has like a bunch of stuff that I can collect, definitely dominates my shelf.
Now, is your wife in anything? Does she collect anything?
She likes some nerdy stuff. Like I bought her like not that long ago. Whoa, yikes! How did that happen? It was plugged in and I unplugged it and somehow it just got brighter for some reason. But like I'll see like an old like figure from like the Labyrinth or something, like an old McFarlane, doesn't have any articulation. I'll get it for her. She'll think it's awesome. Or like I got her Inigo Montoya from the Princess Bride because she loves that character and the actor. She thinks the actor's great too. So,
but she's not actively seeking anything out.
No,
but she supports you, and
for the most part, she really supports the Toy Mercs thing, and especially since now there's a magazine, she just thinks it's great that I'm like using some of my extra time to like do something constructive.
No, and that's absolutely great. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people aren't doing anything constructive with their free time.
No, and that wasn't even my idea. The magazine wasn't even my idea.
So, how long before, like, if you get into this, when did you decide to get on YouTube?
With the magazine.
So, and when did the magazine start?
Last year.
Okay, so roughly being on YouTube is relatively new to you.
Yeah,
or at least doing YouTube shows. I maybe you've been on jumped on other people.
Well, I've had the Toy Mercs YouTube for a lot of years, but I never put anything on it.
So explain what Toy Mercs is to everyone, because I don't think at least most of the people watching me don't really know what it is.
So Toy Mercs it's an all-inclusive I guess community based mostly on Instagram that it's really just here to help people boost their views and get like more eyes on their page. Like that's what it's built for. So basically you just collab photos with the Toy Mercs page and we accept it, and you go from getting like 50 views to getting 150 views.
So what how does that work? How do you mean you just collab with them?
Well, when you go to take a photo or go to post a photo on Instagram, you go through all this stuff, and there's a thing where it says tag people. You go there and then you hit collab, add collaborate.
That's all. Like, so if I decided to collab, I'm not actually collabing with you. You're just saying, hey, you know what? We have a big following. You collab with us. We're gonna hit accept, and then it's gonna go out to everyone.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't realize.
Don't get it twisted. We get behind on it because I think there's 8 of us that are admins to the page now, and for a long time it was just me. Started off with me and a buddy, and then he got in some trouble, went away from Instagram for a while, and then it was just me for a long time, and then I finally just started. I needed help, and now I have help, but like sometimes we'll still get backed up like 2-3 days, and we have 12.5K followers. We have a few.
So I didn't, because you mentioned that before. Like, hey, I can get you some followers, and I've heard people how they get followers. I'm like, ooh, but I didn't realize like you're just saying, hey, you know what? You do a photo that's decent, that looks good. If you hit collab with you guys will accept it. Yeah,
unless like we really had to get to talking about politics lately because of things people are posting about these days, and we decided we were gonna not do politics,
which is understandable.
It was hard. It was a hard decision to make, knowing my background with punk rock and all that. It was a real hard decision to make, but we decided not to go that route. However, so we also don't do like any overtly sexual things. Like there's photos where people.
So basically you're saying that Thanos Copter, you're not accepting any of his stuff.
That's not true. We accept some of his things, not a lot of them. He doesn't send a lot to us either. The first time I sent him a message telling him like, dude, we can't do this. And, like, I didn't even have to explain it. His message back was just like, he's like, I get it, dude.
That's what's great about him. Like, he's not going to take offense to it.
No, he didn't at all.
Because he's like, yeah, I know. But hey, if it does, it's not going to hurt to shot. It's not going to hurt to try, right?
Yeah, and Thanos Copter, like he's been supporting Toy Mercs for a long time. I think even longer than he's been taking photos like that. Honestly, I've seen his name around a long time ago.
He's one of the reasons why I started the show. And what I mean by that is I used to see him in Geek Dead Life and Toy Anxiety all the time. And he was one of the people that I thought, like, man, what is this guy must have a really big channel because everyone knows him. He's always in it. Coming to find out, he barely has a YouTube following. He's a very small channel, and he's actually I guess he's a shy guy because he's on, he spent a lot of time on Oz's Clubhouse.
Yeah.
But it's like he's not like this. I thought he was like this really big YouTuber, and he has a very small presence. But it was seeing him and other guys that I'm like, what is their deal? There has I want to know about them. So that's how this whole show actually one of the reasons why the show started was to get to know the people and let other people get to know them.
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah. So so I did not realize that's what Toy Mercs was, because when I asked Oz, I'm like, is Deadman Toy Mercs? And he's like, yes, but we're all Toy Mercs. And I'm like, I ain't fucking Toy Mercs. I don't know what
No, you are. That's one of the things we are all Toy Mercs.
But see, that's the whole thing. When it's explained like that, it changes it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're saying we're not really collabing with you. We've cultivated a very large audience, and we want to help people out, which I think we both agree. There's a lot of people that don't want to help people out, especially when they grow.
Yep.
There's people that, you know what? I don't really want to have you on my show, and they're not going to say it, but the reason why they don't want to have you on is because you're not really big enough to help anything out.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest pet peeves, man. Like, another thing that I really liked about doing this is like I'm bringing on people that are usually smaller than me, and if he gets eyes on you, and we talked about this, like, dude, if your channel gets bigger than mine, good for you. Like, I don't care. This is meant to support my hobby and have fun.
Yeah.
And if someone puts in the hard work and they grow past me, good for you, man. I'm going to clap my way and be like, good. Hopefully that helps me out too, right? Everything's supposed to raise when everyone, grows.
Well, I've met a lot of cool people here, but like when I first made the move to YouTube to do the Mercs Live show, all because of the magazine, I reached out to some people that are much larger than me on this platform, and larger than me myself on Instagram as well, but not larger than Toy Mercs.
Yeah.
I got a lot of no responses. Like people that I used to watch their show because I thought they were cool. Like this is a good show. Like it's entertaining. It's fun. You guys are great. I'm gonna watch it. Reach out to them. No response. It's like I run the most inclusive community of toy photography on Instagram, and it's not small. And I'm just trying to get the word out about my magazine and this show that I do that really just points. We have a segment where we just show off pages under 1,000 that could use some more followers. We put the link in the chat and everything. Like we're like, go follow them. Go follow.
That's one of the things I always love doing was like, I always love when someone was like right below 1,000 and I'm able to shout them out and get them over 1,000 while I'm on my show.
Yeah.
I mean,
cool.
I also then will say it's because of me you're monetized. Don't get me wrong. I throw that in there too. I have no shame. Shame. No, but again, like there are too many people, and it's just not this toy community. It's every community where they don't want someone to grow past them. They don't want someone to get better than them. Skateboarding was always the same way. There's certain people that's like they don't want to see someone get better than them. It's like, man, if you get better than me, good for you, man. Like,
Yeah, and like what I was thinking is that they don't want to have anyone smaller than them on because it brings them
there's
down to their
there's
level.
that too.
Like
Like,
I can't be dealing with you because you only have, at the time, like we had like maybe 50 subscribers on YouTube, they're like, oh, we can't have you on, like, it just can't, like, it's not going to do anything for us. It's like, what would you do if the guys that were bigger than you did that to you? They obviously don't say it. They never say it, but that's just the
no,
feeling you get,
no one is ever gonna say it. And how many people struggle to? I mean, you can go you can do like you can look up the analytics and find stuff and look at how many people on YouTube actually hit 1,000 subscribers. And I'm talking people in general. It's mind blowing how small it is.
Yeah.
And then do 10,000, and it's minuscule when you see how many people actually have 10,000 subs on YouTube. It's tiny. Now, not everyone's trying. Now, not everyone's trying, but there are people that are working really hard.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I would like it if my YouTube would pay for my StreamYard, but I can't. We only have we only have like 300 and something subscribers. It's crazy. We sell more magazines than we have subscribers.
So, it's funny because I think when we were talking, I think it was on Oz, we kind of brought it up, and I was like, I have struggled. Now, lately the Instagrams have started to move a little bit, but growing on YouTube has been way easier for me than Instagram. A matter of fact, I feel like since I started like posting on Instagram almost daily, I get less people. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I get less people like looking at my pictures, and I'm like, I feel like my photography is actually getting a little bit better. But if I don't do something G.I. Joe, I've said it before. It's like they don't even bother to like it. It's like,
oh yeah, we could talk about the bubble.
Yeah, it's like you can be a G.I. Joe fan or whatever fan and be like, shit, I don't know what this Mezco is, but that is a cool looking figure or whatever. Matthew says Instagram sucks for everything. But Matthew said the same thing because he's one of my moderators, and we were talking about it, and he said like some of my best pictures that I've done don't get any likes, and I think it's because it's not like G.I. Joe. It's something that's kind of off the wall. But I'm sorry, like you don't have to like everything, or you don't have to like something to see a picture and be like, man, I have no idea what that is, but it looks fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
It's odd how it all works.
I mean, the only thing you're guaranteed to get likes on is Spider-Man. But that's it. That's kind of just a joke. But no, we definitely put ourselves in a bubble on Instagram. Like when we really get into a thing and we take photos of that's what people want to see from us. And all of a sudden, and there are people that are only out here looking for that, and they follow you because you do it.
Yeah.
So when sometimes they'll see your shit and then they won't even know it's you because it's not G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like when I started taking photos of Warhammer, I'd get like 40 likes. I'd take a picture of Jason Voorhees, 100 overnight.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. And again, you can see the analytics where you can even see like people don't stop and look at it, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, I know I'm not the greatest photographer, but like certain things I look at, I'm like, I did a good picture. But then I can post like a fucking G.I. Joe as basic as possible, and it'll have like 150 likes, and you're like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything but take a picture and then upload it.
Yeah, it's different. It is really different.
But like, how did the Toy Mercs grow so much?
So when Toy Mercs first started, like I had not a big following, but a decent following, and at first it was like a real cult thing. It was like people liked me. And they liked the guy I started it with, Toy God Original. They liked us. So we started this thing. So they followed it. They got involved with it. And we decided we're Toy Mercs. What are we gonna have people do? Like we need to do like a themed collab, right? So we started killing heroes.
Oh,
So we had like one of the first ones was Kill Flint. And that was just it's a big long story about me and Toy God Original getting drunk on a live one night, and my wife made us stop, and then we were just like texting each other, showing off pictures. And one of them was him, and he had Breaker about to shoot himself in the head, and he's sitting on the ground in a pool of blood, and Flint is laying there dead right in front of him, and like he just said, Flint's just fucking dead, and like it went off, it became a whole thing. So that was like our first collab. And then we did a like a killing Spider-Man, and people got into it at first. They were having fun. They were having so much fun, but eventually it just kind of fizzled. And then I came up with the weekly idea, so we get a theme. Now we get a theme from like whoever the guest is on Mercs Live every week, and that's the theme for the week. We have a monthly collab too. We go over every single picture that's in the monthly collab the first Saturday of every month in the morning at 10 a.m. Myself and Roger, anime figure statue collector, we do that.
Okay. But where did the idea that, hey, let's do this Instagram, and I didn't even know there was a collab
Option.
I mean, I've known recently because we do collabs when we do like Circle the Jerks, and I've done it a few times, but I didn't know about it before. Like, was that the whole idea of it, or did you?
Once that option was, I don't believe that option was a thing you could do at the time.
That's what I didn't think so.
Not when I started Toy Mercs. I think it happened shortly after that. But once it started happening, I came up with the weekly theme and was telling people to collab with the page. And then people were not always doing the theme. And I was like, at first I wasn't into it. I wasn't letting it happen. And then I was like, you know what? This is for everybody. This isn't just me.
Okay.
Like, this is for everybody. This is all inclusive. Like, people that don't like me can use Toy Mercs to boost their likes if they want. I don't care.
So basically, you changed, and I want people to understand it is okay to change when new information comes out. You can change what your original feeling was on something, and I mean this in all walks of life. So basically, like, this was the idea. We're going to do these collabs. We're going to ask people to collab, and when that wasn't doing that great, because you're like, well, wait a minute, not everyone has Spider-Man, not everyone has G.I. Joe. Let's just try and help everyone out. So you changed on the fly to just include everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Now, see, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that at all.
But I came up with this tagline. It was the first tagline for Toy Mercs, and it's like we are all Toy Mercs. You are Toy Mercs, and we would say it at the end of the live all the time, because we wanted everyone to be involved. We wanted everyone to feel like they're part of it. We're not a group of people. Now there's a group of admins, but they're not any more Toy Mercs than anybody else. Same with me. It's how I feel. Like, honestly,
you need people to accept the collab, and you also need people that look and go like, all right, this is not what we're doing. Like, I'm sure there are some collabs that you hit that people that try and do it, other than just the sexual and the politics. There's got to be some other ones you kind of look at and go, that's not what we do.
Nope.
Really?
Really?
What if I put my dog in?
Well, it's got to be toys. If your dog's got toys on him, yeah, do it. I'm serious. Like, do it. People collab like unboxing reels with us. Like,
what if it's my dog as a toy?
There you go. Perfect. Absolutely.
No, I'm definitely going to. Now I understand what you were saying before. And now I think I kind of understand the people that will send you a message that you don't know and they'll be like, send us that picture. And I was like, well, I gotta send you my fucking picture. I think I understand what they're trying to say. But no, I find that very interesting, and I like the concept. I like the concept of trying to help everyone out. But where does the name Toy Mercs come from? Obviously, I can figure out toy. What is Mercs?
Mercenaries.
Okay.
Yeah, it just sounded cool.
All right. So we have that. So how does the magazine come about? I kind of explain the magazine because I've heard you mention the magazine, and yet I've never seen it or.
You can buy it on Big Bad Toy Store.
I didn't. Maybe I have seen it and haven't.
I have a copy right here next to me. This is
You
issue
really
2.
have it in BBTS?
Yeah. Where? This is issue 2. This one's sold out on BBTS. You can't get this one, and I'm
Okay.
particularly proud of the intro I wrote for this one. But it's like, like we give like there's articles. There's usually like a creator spotlight where we interview people. So there's the interviews. We get people to do like, I think not this issue, not issue 4, but issue 5. Curtis Ackerman's doing a little thing about customizing figures. I think this one has a diorama tutorial in it or something. And there's like a Photoshop tutorial every issue. We feature photos. Like, I mean, it's a cool thing if you get featured just to buy it.
Yeah.
Just to you don't have to pay for it to get printed. We did it.
You have mentioned the magazine, and I thought you were just doing like a zine, right? Like what,
no, this is a magazine.
Like what I know skateboarders have done it before. Punk.
I did one in the 90s. Yeah.
And then you're like, no, you can buy this on BBTS. So this is like an actual business.
Trying to be.
Well, I mean, no matter how you look at it, I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, it is. It definitely
How
is.
often is it coming out?
Quarterly. We are about 2 months behind on issue 4, and that's mostly my fault. So we're gonna get issue 4 and issue 5 out with the quickness and get back on schedule.
And Matthew
Issue 4
says,
is in layout right now.
Matthew says, not Anchorman, Ackerman.
Ackerman. I didn't say anchor.
No, you did.
I did say acre though. No, you're right. I did say acre.
Did you?
I apologize.
Hi, it's me says magazines are like little paper social medias.
Yes.
I have Thrasher magazine right here, and then I have Toy Collector.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I should just do this. And matter of fact, I haven't bought a Thrasher magazine. They actually give me the shirt too. I'm like, what the fuck? It's pretty much the shirt pretty much pays for the magazine. And I open it up, and my fucking skate park is in there.
Nice.
Because the New Balance team came through. and the guy that works, not a skater, he's an older guy. Yeah, he helps with doing work around the place. He gets his fucking picture in Thrasher because he's holding a board, and I'm like, man, I skated for fucking 40 years, and I've never even got a sniff of being in Thrasher. Not that I should have, And here I look in here and I see Hank. Like, what the fuck, dude? I haven't opened up a Thrasher magazine in 25, 30 years.
The first time. See, I used to read Thrasher and in the late 80s, early 90s because like it was just a cool magazine. I was never a skater.
Yeah,
but skating has always been really cool.
I mean, I do believe when some people said they would read the articles in Playboy, they're probably not lying, but it's not the only thing that they did.
Have you ever read a Playboy article?
I didn't say I read one. I said
I have read a couple, and it's just like they're not trying to be like what it is. They're trying to be like People magazine, or not People. They're trying to be Time magazine, but with naked ladies. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm sure there are people that actually do read the articles, just not the only thing they do with it.
No, they try and read it before they do the other thing, so they can still flip the pages.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to the magazine because now I'm like, I had no idea. Like you mentioned it, I didn't realize you had a real. I thought you were talking like a little zine, and like that's cool, but I don't. All right, so how did the idea of putting the magazine together? Like who does it?
Myself and Digital Ronin.
Okay,
we do the magazine. So we did a giveaway for Toy Mercs. We were doing a giveaway every 1,000, but we're getting thousands too quickly now. Like we just can't do that. Like right now we're at like 12.5. We're not doing another giveaway till 15 because it just happens too quickly.
Yep.
Usually I'll give it a couple weeks because we do the giveaways just like we do everything. Like if you wanted to give something away during our giveaway, we'd show it off and we'd tell everybody who it's coming from and we'd give it away on our show. lots of people get involved when we do that. It's real fun. It is real fun. But anyway, we're doing a giveaway, and Digital Ronin hits me up. He's like, "Hey, I got this thing. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it, but just a little thing I put together, and it wasn't toy photography. It was just art that he had done, like pen and ink sort of art, and it was cool. It was super cool. Like I told him, like, this is really cool. Like, and so I had to give it away though. so he sent me a copy of it, and then he sold a few more copies of it after we showed it off on the live because people just wanted it, and he had some, so he was able to give it or sell a few to some people. And then he hit me up and was like, you want to do a magazine? And I was like, yeah, I do. So
how do you approach people about like using their photography, or do you?
Well,
I mean,
actually, believe it or not, that has actually started to become hard. Like for the first few issues, it was easy. People just wanted to do it, and now like some people are like they don't know if they don't believe us or whatever. And it was a lot of hard work. So now we don't even do that. Now we actually have a submission system. That's one of the reasons why we're so far behind this issue. Now we have a submission system on our website, which is legionsmagazine.com.
Okay.
So you go there and you hit the three little things with the drop down menu. You find the submissions. You go and you got to read a bunch of stuff. You got to sign it because that way we don't have to track you down for a release form. And it's standard like non-exclusive agreement. Like
you don't want somebody coming back and saying like, oh my god, that they put my picture in their magazine without permission. And
no, we have definitely get permission because we can't just take a photo from Instagram and blow it up big enough for the magazine and it looked good on paper. So they have to send us like the original file.
Okay.
I mean, edited, of course. They have the original edited file, but.
And now, how does that? I mean, is that going well then?
It's mostly paying for itself at this point. Okay. We're not making any money, that's for sure.
I mean, is it going well with getting enough submissions, and or is it always the same people over and over?
It's not always the same people over and over again. As a matter of fact, I think I'm not even putting one in this issue. I think I'm in the first 3, and I'm just like, why do I keep doing this? So now sometimes I'll do like a little picture like with my little intro to that issue, and that's it.
That is very, very I love this because like I had no idea. Now I'm gonna be looking for the fucking magazine.
Well, I think Ronin has a couple of issues too. So if you want to get that one, but you can't. I don't think you can get that one at Big Bad Toy Store.
Now, how much are they?
Like $16, $16. Oh, never mind.
I mean, I'll spend $135 on a Mezco figure.
Yeah. No, we get a lot of that. We do get a lot of that. We get a lot of people asking for a digital copy because they think it's going to be cheaper, and it's like we just don't do digital. Like that's not the point of a magazine.
No, I think that's one of the things that Toy Collector, Blake, he talked about it. It's like I want something physical in my hands.
Yeah.
And there's no toy mag. Again, like Thrasher is like the last real skateboarding magazine. Transworld went out of business, or I think they just do Instagram now or something, YouTube. But like they're like the last actual magazine, and a lot of people like. I was at the skate park years ago, and the one guy's like, "Yeah, this girl was in there, and she saw Thrasher, and she's like, oh, that's a magazine," and he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I never realized it was a magazine." And she's wearing a Thrasher shirt, and he's like,
"It says Thrasher magazine on it."
Right on
it. That is brilliant.
But it is, it is one of those things. As much money as we spend on stupid shit. And here's Matthew right here saying, "I wish Toy Collector magazine was cheaper," and it is one of those things. I think. And this was the first issue of Toy Collector, and one of the reasons why I decided to get it was like he goes and gets exclusives that doesn't get out there.
Really?
yeah, like he gets exclusives, and it pretty much it seems like it stays hidden until the magazine gets out there. In this world that we live in, like skateboard videos were popular, were awesome because you waited so long to see these skaters and what they're doing. Now everything's just thrown on Instagram right away, so
Yep.
things get thrown up on Instagram. Just recently, Chris Joslin, he 360 flipped El Toro. He tried it years ago. He landed, his truck broke, so he didn't ride away. No one ever thought he was going to go back. He got the Thrasher cover, but they still wouldn't drop the video, and they were able to keep anyone from seeing it until it actually dropped.
Wow.
Usually you get other pictures and other stuff like that. They got the cover. Everyone knew that he did it, but no one got to see it till they finally dropped it. There wasn't like
that is a hard thing to do in this day and age.
Exactly. So like toy collector is one of those, like, it's like I can find almost all this information out. Do I really want to, spend the money on it? But I was really looking at like, you know what? I want to support some of these guys. Thrasher magazine, it's a skateboard magazine. And then of course, the first one has the skate park that I've been skating at for 10 years. I'm like,
that's great.
And I remember that they came through. And again, I'm not into like demos and stuff. Like it's not like a concert. Concerts are different. I don't want to watch a bunch of people skateboard. I want to skateboard.
Cool. That's cool. Hey, you don't happen to have another commercial you could play, do you?
Yes, I do.
I would like to take a short break.
All right. You go do that.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Late Night with Mothman. Tonight's guest, he's the man behind the 36-hour Toys for Tots Punkathon. Please welcome at this time, live via telephone, Punk with Toys. Yeah. It's great to see you. It's great to have you on the show. How you doing today? I thought I was told you to stop Collins Maze. Lawrence, I thought you just meant for that day. I thought maybe you had the grumble dust or something, just need a little bit of privacy. But, you're here now, so most people think that your personality is 50% G.I. Joe action figures and 50% falling off a skateboard. But you've done this great thing with the Punkathon, and now it's 2 years running, and you're making all this money to donate to the kids, and that's awesome. I mean, listen to all these phones going off from our call center, Lawrence. Phones have been ringing off the hook all night. Was it? Where's Tony's Figs at? Tony's Figs said he was gonna come answer some of these phone calls for us. Baseman. Put one of them phone calls through. Hi, caller. You're on Late Night with Mothman with special guest of Punk with Toys.
I'm on the air.
Yeah, you're live.
So, Punk, I just want to say, man, I love your channel. It's got me through some real hard times. Man, I agree with everything you say about Ohio, too. It probably should be turned into a parking lot. Go blue, am I right? But I gotta say, I don't really like when those Boss Man skits come on. His little beady eyes kind of give me the willies. And
oh, okay. Thank you, caller. Thank you. So, Lawrence, I know you're really busy, so we're gonna let you get back to your 36-hour stream-a-thon. But thanks for joining us. And is there anything you want to say before we go, Lawrence? Hello. Oh, I think we got disconnected. Oh, he hung up. Well, I guess we still got a whole bunch of more exciting shows going on tonight through the 36-hour stream, so you can catch people like Allison Troy and Toy Connections and Bees Battlegrounds and all sorts of other fun stuff. So make sure you keep watching and you keep donating. And let's get back to the show.
I get some more long ones that don't have to do with my the Punkathon. People are like, why do you want me to donate money? Like, it's back for Toys for Tots. We'll be doing another one. We'll be doing another one in October again. So
Oh, nice. I've been wanting to do one, but I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I want someone else to do it for me.
it is. It's This would be the third year. The third year doing it. That first year, it was very stressful because you're wondering if the people are actually going to show up to do the shows that you want to have on there. Are people actually going to donate money? Going 36 hours. Now I do take like a 4-hour break. I let my moderators take over. Like I think 6 in the morning, I go take a nap. But I can't go 36 plus hours. I mean, we're in our 50s. Like it's difficult. The first one was very stressful. Second one, it wasn't nearly as stressful because so many people were excited and so many people wanted to be part of it. And now I saw like, hey, they're actually gonna show up.
Yeah.
And they want to be part of this and they want to donate for Toys for Tots. And I'm set up and linked with Sergeant Red's, local toy store here. So that was like the second one was much easier but it's still, you have to mentally, if you're going to do 36 hours, you mentally have to start going, all right.
Yeah.
Sitting in the seat for over 36 hours. Cause it's not like 36 hours and I hit the end button,
Yeah. I know Oz was doing a 24-hour for Comic-Con or something.
Yep. I
did a lot of time with him on that. And then right after that, some GFPF, it's another collab page on Instagram that Toy Mercs was close with. They did a 24-hour stream for Toys with Tots right after that, like the next day.
Oh wow!
And I did. I think collectively with them, I think I did 6 hours.
I mean,
and with Oz, it was similar. I think I did a total of 18 hours live between the two shows.
Sometimes, when I went on, the clubhouse all the time, you'd start at like 10 o'clock and I'd be sitting here till 4 o'clock in the morning. That's 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then you chat afterwards normally, and you're chatting a little bit before, and you realize
that's the chat to be at.
Everyone knows when the camera ends and you're no longer live, that is where you wish you could play the stuff, but that's also the stuff that, well, you might get the wrong people that tune in because that's when you just kind of let everything go. That's when you can talk about the shit that you don't want to say. Because again, you're a public person, and like I said, you're part of Toy Mercs. You're doing a magazine. You don't want people not to buy it because they don't like you personally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I worry about that, but I don't worry about it too much because I can't be disingenuous, but I can watch what I say.
Again, you don't want to be disingenuous. I agree 100%. And you do want to watch what you say to a point. You want to be authentic in who you are, but it's kind of like, and again, sorry if there's any women watching and they're going to get offended by this. Women will say stuff because they know it's going to make you mad. And sometimes you don't have to say stuff just to make you mad.
My wife does not do that.
I didn't say every woman.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying no guys do it, but it's one of those things where, my ex would be like, like, I'm just going to say how it is. You don't always have to say how it is. You can keep some stuff to yourself.
Yeah.
It is possible. Sometimes you have to outweigh you ask yourself, if I say this, does it really change anything? It doesn't really matter that much to me. But if I say it, is it going to make things that much worse? And if the answer is fuck yes, don't do it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got about 18 emails while I was on here with you.
Okay.
Business email.
Tony jumping in here. All right. So
by the way, I'm not trying to end the stream or anything. I'm having a great time.
No, it's I gotta work in the morning. I don't even know where I'm going. Probably can check later on where I'm starting. All right. So you had your we talked about the Instagram, which I really do like, and I'll definitely be collabing because it is hard to.
Also collab with your when you go to post about doing your Toys for Tots thing. Go ahead and collab that with us.
Oh, I will for sure, but that's not till October. Don't try and push me. I need. I still got to get through Joe Fest. Talk about your YouTube show and what you're doing with that.
Well, there's 3 of them.
Okay.
The one, the one you can catch, the one that I've been doing the longest is Mercs Live, and it's just to promote the magazine, and also, like I said, we do the thing where we do anywhere from 4 to 9 pages under 1,000, where we'll go over, we'll do a deep dive in their page, and we'll look at a lot of their photos, and it's been really cool with some of like the newer accounts. Some of these accounts have been on Instagram forever, and they just can't get past 800 for some reason. Some of them are just new accounts, and like when it's a real young account, like they could have like only 40 photos up, but you can go from the bottom up and you can watch their photography grow, and that is really cool to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do that. We also we go over anywhere from 7 to 10 photos from the page where the people collab with the page too.
Okay.
I mean, that's nothing to brag about or anything, but like that, I really do enjoy doing the pages under 1,000. Like, sometimes it's really hard to find them, but I find them. I mean, it happens every week. We talk about stuff that's going on with the magazine. We have a guest on. Sometimes. Right now, there's 4 hosts, so that makes it hard. I think one of them, Rad Toys Galaxy, is one of our hosts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You know Rad.
Yes.
And Ronan is another host. He's the guy that I do the magazine with. Fanboy Tone. That guy is so funny. He is so funny. I asked him if he wanted to come on, because every time he comes on, it's just been a freaking hoot. And he's like, well, I want to do my own thing, but I don't know what I want to do. And I was like, why don't you just come on until you figure that out? And he's like, that's perfect. So now he's here until he figures it out.
Heli Geek says even some of your YouTube shows are collaborative with viewers, other creators, which is great. What you're doing with the community YouTube Lords. Thank you. No, I don't. There is a.
I met that guy at LA Comic-Con. He is super cool.
I've asked him to come on, and he's going to be coming on in a couple months, probably after Joe Fest.
Nice.
Just because how I'm reworking this show leading into Joe Fest. So he wanted to get a few things out. There's a real maturity when it's not something I could have done when I was 18. But what I mean by that is, like, I've never been one of those people that, like, I'm jealous if you were better than me at skateboarding, or you were getting better than me, right? Lifting weights, the same thing. I always helped people out. But when I was younger, I could not help somebody learn a trick skating because I just did it. I didn't understand how to teach it or how to explain it. My buddy Tony, who I still skate with today, he understood that. He understood how to explain it to people. He's one of the smartest people you ever meet. As I got older, I understand. I can explain better. And I love doing it because I love that I can get a kid that's 15 years old that is super unconfident about his skateboarding and be like, just do this. Put your feet here and try. Hey, you know what? Try my fucking board. I got some kid into skateboarding years ago, and he might have walked away because he had such a shitty board. And I was like, hey, I'm like, you're almost doing it. Why don't you try my board? That board is awful. And he's like, well, what if I break it? I'm like, first off, you ain't gonna break it because I didn't break it. And if you chip it or something, I don't care. I told you to use it. So, and he ended up oiling up the little mani pad, and then he did it a few times, and I told him where to go buy a board. A few years later, actually last year, so a few years, well, I see him a couple years later. He runs up to me. He's like, dude, I've been looking for you. Thank you so much. And he remembered me. A few years later, he's working at fucking Modern Skate, fucking ripping the fucking park.
Nice.
And I tell everyone, I'm like, that's my skate son now.
Oh, you're
He's
scared.
here. He's
That is-
here because of
That
me.
is fucking adorable.
And it was funny because I went in the shop, and I was talking to a guy that works there that I've skated with, and I was telling him about him. And then he comes out and he goes, and the guy that I'm talking to looks at me and goes, L Dog is the one that you were fucking saying that fucking got you done skating. He's like, yeah, he's the one that did this. He's like, holy shit, dude, I didn't realize that's who it was. That, because he told people like, yeah, there's a guy at the park and he let me ride his board, and I'm like, it's fucking skate dad. But I love that.
So then he knew what a skateboard should have been.
Yes, because this kid could have, and I don't know where he got this. It was I stood on it, and it was like, it just sagged. It was so waterlogged. And if I would have had a board, I would have just given it to him. If I would have had an extra, which I normally do. Why
So,
did I? No, I
I gotta ask you a question about skating. So being involved with punk rock as long as I've been involved with it, I've seen skateboards like change over the years.
Yes.
Now I know like it makes sense to why they're all like kind of just a big oval now. Like that always made sense to me. Now, but what I want to ask you about is wheels.
Okay.
So in the 80s and 90s, the wheels were real big.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, boom, they're nothing comparatively.
Or they're bearing condoms.
They're definitely bearing condoms. So I'm going to ask you: do you use bigger wheels because from the time you started skating, or did you evolve with skating?
So they used to have the big wheels, 60 to 66. Then they went down to like super small, to where they were like 38 millimeter. You want to talk about a rock stopping you?
Oh yeah.
How we got any speed? Most of the wheels now, people are riding like 51 to maybe 55.
Oh, so they've gone back up a little.
Yeah, they're in the middle. They're not the real big ones. I never realized this. This goes all to like learning how, like, as I've gotten older, different sizes of wheels, the width of them, you'll turn slower. So I always looked at it as how tight or loose your trucks are to turn. But if you have a wider wheel, you turn slower. If you have a thinner wheel, you turn faster.
So thinner wheel, tighter trucks.
No, I don't know. Well, I still skate fairly loose. I'm also 190 pounds at 5'4". So I've had people stand on my board and say it's tight. And I'm like, it's not, but when you skate, you also learn I know where to pivot, like on my board, like to make myself turn. But certain trucks will turn faster than others. Okay. Like I used to skate Venture. I didn't realize Venture don't fucking turn. So I started skating Thunder when I came back. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is night and day. But the wheels were the big thing. I didn't realize. Because I almost always skated wider wheels, other than like when they were like really small. But I always like skated wider wheels. And then I got to these like really basically thin rectangular looking wheels. They grind better. It gives you more. Again, you asked about skateboard.
I did. It's my fault.
It'll give me more room on my truck to grind. They don't. Certain wheels won't pinch as much. If they're too big, you'll catch it on the coping or on the ledge. It'll stop you. Yeah, but you have.
So your wheels evolved with skating.
Yes.
So you did the really little ones when everybody was doing the little ones.
Yeah. 38 millimeter, I want to say, is the smallest. The Gizmos. The fact that I can remember them, because Real had their real small wheels, and I want to say they were like 45 millimeters, which is small.
Yeah, but you had a pebble.
I want to say were 38. They were barely bigger. There's a skateboard video called Big Pants Small Wheels. And it encompasses the early 90s.
Yeah.
It encompasses the early 90s for sure. And that makes me laugh because every time I see it, I'm like, I swear that could have been me. Big giant fucking pants that were cut off at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then the tiny fucking wheels. And when I watch some of the old skating and see how fast the pros were, and I think how fast I skated on those wheels, you're like, man, like you can't. It doesn't rotate fast enough. How we got that fast, I don't know. It explains why I always had strong legs.
It came to my head. I wanted to know.
Hayasumi says, how does the size of the wheels affect your hand plants? Don't answer that. I haven't done a hand plant in years. Not that I ever could. HK Viper says, now we're on skateboard here. How anyone skated EMB with those little wheels was impressive. So Embarcadero is EMB in California. It was all brick. And because of those fucking videos, everyone loved brick because of the sound of the wheels going over it, me included. I am with you though, because the smaller the wheel, if you land in even a crack in those bricks, man, you were going forward. I ate it the other day.
I believe that.
I ate it the other day. I ripped right through my fucking pants. I'm so fucking pissed. That wasn't even skating. I skated down to I'm on the association, so I skated down. I skated down to the where all the mail is, and I jumped on my board and I went to kind of just not ollie over, just hop over the big crack, and it caught, and I just went, and it ripped. I ripped my brand new fucking pants right through it.
Dude, get you some double knee Carhartts.
Well, I had my work pants on. I was just skating down just so I didn't have to walk, and then I ate shit.
Don't skate on the clock, bro. Don't skate on the clock. You never got paid for it before. Don't try now.
This wasn't on the clock. This is for the association.
Oh, okay.
This is for my home association because I'm on the board because I'm stupid. So I guess we can kind of wrap it up because it's after 12. Where do you see, like, you actually have a few things I want to ask. Where do you see the where do you want to see the magazine go? Where do you want to see the YouTube and the Instagram channel go?
The Instagram channel, I think, has gotten where it's going to get. Like, it's going to get bigger. That's it. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Matthew, when I say I went down fucking hard. I mean, I went, and I skated fast, and I just hit it and just boom. And I get the little scrapes right there to prove it.
Yeah.
The concrete is not forgiving, and it's real rough ground too. Anyway, Matthew, stop making this all about me.
Oh, you're doing a good job of that on your own. I had to give you one. Every time I've been on live with you, people give you so much shit about you being a big deal that I hadn't done it. I just had to.
I will say it again. I don't know if there is a toy tuber out there that takes more shit than I do from his own chat. And this isn't even bad. Mondays are fucking awful.
Yeah, I've been in a few of them.
But if you can't take it, you shouldn't be out here dishing shit out, right?
Nope.
Social media is not for everyone.
No, it's not.
All right, so where do you want to see the Toy Mercs page, the magazine, and the YouTube go from here?
I would like to see the YouTube chain turn into something more like the page where other people are involved with it, you know, not just me and people I know. You know, I'd like to, there is a collaborator tool here on YouTube. I have been able to collaborate with other pages, but I can't figure out how to accept one somehow. So that's out for now because I can't figure it out. But I mean, I'd like people to like email me videos and me post it up or something. Like, I'd like to see more community participation on the YouTube, kind of like the Instagram, because this whole thing is about the community. This whole Toy Mercs thing is about everyone. It's not about me. You know, it's about everybody. If you like toys, period, you're Toy Mercs. That's the way I see it.
And like I said, I think that shows the true maturity because not everyone is like that.
No, most people on Instagram are not.
Right. Like, you know, there are certain toy makers that they don't want to work with other ones. They want to drag them down.
There's certain toy makers that see every other toy maker as like evil, bad competition. Like, I don't want to say any names, but I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about.
All right, so that's what you want to see from your YouTube. What about for the Instagram? Are you still looking to grow that?
I mean, it's going to get bigger. There's
Yeah.
no way around that. That's just going to happen. But I think there's not much more different things we can do with the Instagram. You know, I'd like to get some help with the other socials. Like there's a Facebook page, but nobody on the Instagram does Facebook. So it just if we put it in our story, it goes in the story over there. If we post it ourselves, it goes up over there. I think there's probably 7 people that follow it over there. We have a TikTok, and I went real hard on the TikTok for a while, but it's like there's just a lot of stuff to do. We have an X account too, and I don't think there's any followers over there.
I still don't understand X or Twitter. Like I have it.
Twitter and X are the same thing, right?
Yeah, I know, but like every now and then I'll be on my Twitter and I'll see there's a comment, and I'm like, how the fuck do I see the goddamn comment? I cannot find where the comment is.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I went hard on that one for like 3 weeks and was like, yeah, I don't care. It's tough, but yeah. So as far as the Instagram goes, I don't think there's much like innovation we can do over there. You know, as far as I know, I was told this. I don't know if this is true. I was told that we were the first Instagram page that was like, come collab your shit with us. We'll help people see your things. I don't know if that's true, but I've been told that we were like, we at least pioneered that.
I'm really glad that you explained it, because now that I know, now it makes sense, and I'm like, all right, I'm definitely going to do that with some of my pictures, because if it can help grow the YouTube channel, then grow the Instagram. Hopefully, it helps grow the YouTube channel, and hopefully, it helps everyone grow.
Well, I could tell you we have 377 subscribers on YouTube. I think some of them came from this show actually, because it was 370 on Wednesday. So thank you guys. But I can tell you right now that just because you have a large Instagram does not mean you're going to have a large YouTube.
Oh, I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, you're opposite, right? Like
I'm the exact opposite. I'm at I'm coming in at 9,000 subs on YouTube, and I am at I'm over 1,800 followers on. So I'm over 1,800 followers on Instagram. So I'm not like that's decent. Yeah, I'm not poo-pooing that. I love using that term, poo-poo. How you know you had kids. Like, so it's not, I mean, there's a lot of people that will never hit over 1,000, like you were talking about. But YouTube was way easier for me. Way easier. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are the exact opposite.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't see myself, and I know doing actual videos helps a lot, but I don't see myself doing that.
Yeah, so doing pre-made videos, and not just reviews, but stuff that is there. When you ask people to like and subscribe, they will. Lives, for some odd reason, people will not. And a perfect example of that is the 3POA. The 3PO will have 700 people watching, but I think I have more subs than them. Now, that has nothing to do with the popularity of a channel. I'm just using that as a point of reference, that channel is extremely popular, getting 700 people watching on a Saturday, and their sub count is not out of this world.
They lean into drama though. That's
but either
I'm not saying they're drama queens, but they lean into drama, and people like that.
But what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, like, they have over 700 people watching, so they have a very popular channel. Yet you would think with 700 people watching that their sub count would be higher. And it goes back to my theory that for some odd reason, when people mostly live off live streams like they do, people don't subscribe for some reason. And you don't have to be subscribed, because once YouTube knows you watch it, it still puts it up there. So there's a bunch of people that watch my show that aren't subscribed. And then all of a sudden, like, holy shit, I haven't been subscribed yet. YouTube was like, you like this person. Conversely, there's people that I really like that I'm subscribed to that I haven't clicked on their video in a couple weeks. And YouTube's like, you must not like this anymore. And then you forget that you have it. you know, like
Yeah.
thanks YouTube. I liked it for a reason. Or
Yeah.
I unlike these people for a reason. Stop showing me their shit.
So 3POA has 8.47K subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not far from you.
But what I'm saying is like their lives are so large, and
Yeah.
that's mostly what they do.
Well, that's because it's like you got to eat popcorn and watch the drama.
Yeah, but still, like people will subscribe. I do. I mean, I do a lot of live streams, yes. But if I went and look back, my channel sub wise, and I said this before, like you grow your channel doing reviews or pre-recorded stuff. You grow your community by doing your lives and getting to know the people, chatting with them, highlighting their comments.
Oh, so I'm doing it right because it's all about the community for me anyway.
Yes.
So. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
No,
Glad to
no,
hear.
no. You're like, again. I think everyone wants to hit that. Everyone wants to get monetized so you can make some money off it, right? Like,
Yeah, I just don't want to pay for it. That's all.
no, and you're right. No, you're trying to grow your community. But what I'm saying is like, if you're mostly doing lives, it is a slow grow subwise. Not
Yeah.
everyone. Geek Dead Life, kind of the opposite, right? He doesn't do a lot of pre-recorded stuff, yet he's at like, I think over 20,000 now, right? Geek Dead Life.
Wow.
Very
I don't
few
even know who that is.
they got a good show. I used to really watch it when him and John were on. And then I kind of trickled off, but then it's on Sundays. So there's a lot of stuff going. Sundays, I'm usually doing my show for myself. I'm usually putting my own show together.
Yeah, I do one on Saturday evening. That one's tough.
There's a lot of stuff on Saturdays now.
Yeah, and it's a Saturday too. Like getting people just to watch is tough. It's an open forum. We let people. We just put the link in the chat. Just let people come and talk, hang out with us.
Yeah. So
Mostly a toy news show. So we'll go over like toy news with random people that hop in.
No, and again, that's my biggest thing when it comes to shows, and this is just me. Everyone's different. If you have too many people on screen, there's no one can talk. I think 4 is now for like the clubhouse. The clubhouse isn't doing anything. Like they're not putting on a show like, hey, let's talk about the news. Here's our topic. It's just a hangout.
And everyone's really respectful over there.
For the most part, yes.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of talking over people.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that is an issue we've come across on that show is called Toy Stomps. And I'll just mute people. I'll mute people and I'll tell them, I'll just be like, I'll put them on full screen and muted, and I'll tell them like, look, you got to let other people fucking talk.
I've just had to do that a couple times. And again, for me, like the only show that I'm on where there's a lot of people that I do, and that is Circle of Jerks. And there's only 4, maybe 5 if everyone is there. But talking over kind of becomes the big thing, and then Tony gets all mad because he used to be the one that talked over people, and he gets all mad. I'm like, shut up, Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. This last Mercs Live, we had 7 people on it. It was hectic.
It gets difficult. I'm not a big fan of it. Like I'm not a big fan of too many people on it because there's no way not to talk over each other.
Yeah.
And I've said before, like people are like, man, you do a show all alone for 3 hours. That's hard. I'm like, are you kidding? I don't have to stop for anyone. When there's not a lot of news, it gets it can be rough. You're stretching shit out. But I mean, my Monday night show, like I go 45 minutes talking about what I did over the weekend and bringing up stuff. And I probably talk too much. I probably have shared way too much about my personal life. Other people don't, but I think that's another reason why people tune in, because like, hey, we're just hanging out on Monday.
Well, there's a realness to it when you do that. When you let people know, like sometimes at the beginning of Mercs Live, I'll tell a little anecdote about something that happened at work.
Yep.
Like how I got really good at doing drywall mud, so my boss never does it now. He's just like, why would I do it? You're super good at it. Why would I do it?
People love that connection.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they know you.
Yeah.
I heard them talk about it on the radio years ago. And they said, there's a real thing being on the radio. And again, radio now, there's also forums where they see them. And I listen to a lot of sports radio. So you see them on like the sports works, right? So you see these guys and it's like everyone thinks they know us when in actuality, they only know what we show, but we don't know them at all. But we've become like good friends to them. And so they know our names, they'll know our kids' names, they know our favorite sports teams, you know, they know all that other stuff. And that we're no different. We're no different because we're the ones that put ourselves out here. Not everyone's willing to do that.
Yeah.
And not everyone also is, I hate to sound like a dick, not everyone is interesting enough that they should be doing a show.
That's absolutely true. You know, like there's something to be said about that. And
you know, everyone
sometimes
has
putting yourself out. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, everyone has the right to do it, but not everyone is interesting, and I think it shows by the viewership and the participation that you get. And I don't mean to offend anyone, but yes, everyone loves Roman. Everyone loves Roman more than you, Lawrence. I know that. But unfortunately, he has to stay downstairs because he has a torn ACL. So
that's terrible.
Your dog? Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, he's gotten better. It's been 2 months. We've opted not to do surgery, and it's getting better. But even the vet was like, it's going to be about a year either way, whether you get surgery or not. The problem is he decides to bolt. If they do the surgery and we can't keep him, like, it was easy in the winter, but now that it's getting nice out, he's going to see a stray cat and go after it.
Yeah.
He's like, if we do the surgery and you guys can't keep him, you know, sedated or not running, he runs, he's probably going to tear, and then you're back to square one. But it's healing now, so I'm like, all right, well,
nice. I gave myself a biceptal tendonitis not that long ago just by moving my screw gun bag. That's what happens when you get 50, guys, just so you know. And like it seems to be taking forever. I'm being really careful with it. I know what movements I can and can't do. So like I'm still working and I'm still lifting and I'm still ripping shit apart when I have to. But I know how I can and can't.
Does it hurt in your shoulder?
It's all right. It's all right in the front of my shoulder. Sometimes it feels like it gets caught on something and oh god, it hurts.
Funny thing is I have the same thing over on this shoulder, or this. It's a bicep tendonitis. It's actually gotten way better. And I went out of town, and my friend, she's a masseuse, and I stayed over her house, and she worked on, and she's like, "Yeah, it's your bicep." I'm like, "How is this my bicep?" My shoulder. So she breaks out her book and she shows me.
Yeah.
But I'd be perfectly fine, and a box would move in my work van, and I'd go to grab it, and shooting pain.
Yeah, so it's like this motion is not good for it.
Yes, but I could
like
work out
anything really close to your body. You could do almost anything as long as you keep that arm close to your body.
And I could work out on it. I could work out on it perfectly fine for certain exercises.
Yeah.
But again, as you get older, like I'm not trying to throw up a weight like I used to. Not that I was ever really super strong, but you watch and it's like if something hurts, you go, hey, you know what? I'm not going to push through it because I'll just find another exercise to do. I'm not stepping on stage ever. It's not a labrum tear because it doesn't hurt anymore. It actually hurt the other day. I don't know. Something inflamed it, and then the next day it was fine. So I was like, I didn't even do anything. That's what the worst thing was, when it just hurts.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Last thing, the magazine. Where do you want to see the magazine go? Do you have other plans for it?
Right now we're just doing what we do. I would like to get some ad space in there. I was giving away free ad space for a while. I'm sorry, Stu for lunch, PPB.
Prayers for Punk's bicep.
How about PBR? Pabst Blue Ribbon with
I know-
Godzilla.
I know Pabst Blue Ribbon because of the movie Midnight Madness.
It's been sitting here next to me for the last like 20 minutes and it's starting to get warm, so I gotta drink it now. I'd like to sell some ad space just because I was giving it away for a while, and eventually it started to get hard for people to get me their ads. And I want ads in the magazine because for some reason I think it gives it more legitimacy. But Ronan's not even worried about it at all. He's just like, screw it, doesn't matter. Like the more photos we can put in there, the better. The more we can show off other people, the better. And I'm like, you're right. But at the same time, there's things I'd like to do with the money we could create from that. Mostly giveaways. I love giving shit away. I'm terrible at mail. So if you come to a Toy Mercs giveaway and you win something, just know that I'm probably not going to send it out for at least 2 weeks. You will get it. I promise you that. But it might take me 2 weeks to get it in the mail.
I'm not a big giveaway person, but when I do, I'm like, do not bother me. But when I'm shipping it out.
Yeah.
I just gave 7 things away or 8 things, whatever. It's going out. You know where I'm at every week. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to screw you over, but don't fucking start messaging me 2 days later going, hey, when is it? Like, you just got pushed to the back. So you like to sell ads. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make a little money off it.
Well, I'm not trying to make money off it because I make enough money for myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't mind being able to recycle that back into something that has to do with the community.
But that's exactly what I mean. And I've told people about YouTube when I would see people doing YouTube and I'd be like, hey, you should watch this. It talks about growing your channel. And people are like, I don't care. It's like, okay, understand, like, if you learn how to present a better product for your viewers, that leads to getting more viewers. It's a byproduct of it.
Yeah.
And isn't that what you ultimately want to do? You want to give the best product to the people that are already tuning in. And if that causes more people to show up, you're going to grow your channel. That's exactly what you're saying. I'd like to make some more money on for this so we can do more that has to do with the magazine, the YouTube channel, and everything.
Yeah. Like, I mean, right now I'm doing this live from a laptop. I do have a second screen set up, so it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I bought this laptop for a completely different reason. So I would like to have a computer I could sit down at so my laptop can actually be a laptop, because right now it's got 40 things plugged into it.
And that and all that becomes frustrating.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize, and I talk to a lot of people, and the first thing they say is, I just want to pay for my StreamYard.
Yeah.
And that should be like the first thing that you should want to pay for.
Yep.
Microphone, a good camera, a good microphone, a good camera, and your StreamYard. Start there, right? Then you start, but you got to get to that point. And
yeah, we're definitely not monetized. I also think I might have a hard time with that because, I mean, we smoke, we drink, we cuss. What's that?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just watch hours.
Okay. Well, we get pretty decent watch hours. We just
you are probably, again, if you're doing 3 shows, you're probably well over. By the time you hit the 1,000, you'll have the watch hours. You can look at all that and see what your watch hours are.
Yeah.
Like I laugh when people are like, I don't have the watch hours. I'm like, I have like 9,000 watch hours this month.
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't have that. Well, we just started streaming to the Instagram at the same time, and like the uptick in viewership is dramatic, but they're watching us on Instagram.
Yeah, you want to force everyone to be. Yeah. You want to force them to come over to YouTube. It also makes it easier because YouTube, then everyone can see the chat and everything.
Yeah.
Live.
And I try and say that here and there throughout the show, but after a while, we just stop talking about it.
Yep. But Instagram now allows you, not Instagram, StreamYard allows you to stream to Instagram while you're streaming here.
Mm-hmm.
They also allow you to do, I don't know, they added some stuff and I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, you can. I actually did it the other day with I tried to do it with Mercs Live, and Ronan would not allow it. He was like, "It looks like you have two streams. Get rid of one of them. I don't care which one."
Yeah.
But the streaming vertical at the same time, you can set it up right before you start the show as well.
Yep.
It allows for people who are just doom scrolling, because everyone does that now and then on YouTube, to run into you.
Yep. No, and again, there are benefits to it, but it is, yeah, it's
stupid.
So much shit. Like you can go down,
and you can turn it off too, because I know it's off to the side of your screen, and you could just hit a little button to where you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, so I haven't done that. I know Geeks Have Game, a friend of mine, they did it once, and Tony and I were like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I don't know what the hell's going on," and he was watching like a different stream, but it was the same stream on the channel, and I'm like, "Wait, how do you see? I don't see the comments." He's like, "No, they're right here," and I'm like, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, I think there's like this. Yeah, this is stupid." That's the one thing StreamYard needs to do when you simulcast. They need to figure out how to make it so all the comments get put on every page.
Well, now you can do the thing where the comments come up on the screen. You could do that.
Yeah.
Right now, you could make that happen. And if we were simulcasting, say we were on Toy Mercs and this at the same time,
yep,
all of those comments would come up because all your comments come to this.
Yeah, but you don't really like. It's so hard to read. I don't like that either, especially if you have multiple people.
Yeah,
then it's usually going over someone's face too.
True. Like right now, it wouldn't be going over my face, but that's because I favored the side of my camera for some reason.
Should be right in the middle. Anyway,
I have a problem with that. Like even with photography, I used to submit to this photography show on YouTube called Maz's Toy Box, which is great. If you want to learn about photography, you don't even have to put yours in there. Just watch what they're saying about everybody else's photography. Sometimes they can be really brutal. Just know those people put themselves up to it though. Because I did. And wow, some of the things they said hurt, but it made me a lot better. But where was I going?
About being to the side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was one thing that they were always on me about. Like, center it a little bit more. And I'm like, no. I feel like in this situation, this void of everything adds something to the photo. And it does, because it's pissing you off. So it added something.
So I think that's one of those things where if everyone did it, it might get annoying. But that also forces someone to be like, that's his picture. That's his style.
Yeah.
And it gives you something, it gives you a uniqueness.
And when you're doing horror, like that like just that little shift to me adds a little tenseness, just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
I have to do that for my thumbnails when I put everything.
Sometimes I'll make a thumbnail and I'll cram so much into it. I'm just like, I'm starting over. I'm not doing this.
Well, Dead Man, I want to say thank you so much. Again, we're at 3 hours and 30 minutes. I could keep going on, but someone has to work in the morning. That's this guy. I don't know if you do.
Yes, I definitely have to work in the morning. I also need to eat dinner.
Oh, well, you're also behind me. Right?
Yeah. It's 9:30 here.
Yeah, it's 12:30 here.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't sleep, so.
Well, it was a great time.
So I appreciate it. All his links are in the description. That is to his personal Instagram, the Toy Mercs, Toy Mercs Instagram, and the Toy Mercs YouTube. Go over there, subscribe. Head on over there. If you do photography, don't just send your dog. Collab and see if it helps. Hey, I'm going to find out really soon because I have some pictures that I think I can take or that I might already have that I can do the collab.
Yeah, well, definitely do the stuff that you want to do that's not the Joe's and see if it helps with your legs.
I am, because I have all this Operation Monster Force stuff and Skeletron stuff behind me.
Oh, you could. I mean, people that like Joe should like that stuff too.
You know, the Skeletron stuff does really well because they share. They like to share the people's pages. Operation Monster Force is kind of hit or miss. BBT Big Bad Workshop is actually sharing a lot of things, so that's good. Yeah, I do a Mezco and it's like
Yeah, I know a guy who did predominantly Joe shots, and he bought the Mezco Ghostbusters, and he bought them like secondhand years later, and he's like, "This is all I'm going to shoot for now." And his likes went from like 200 on every photo to like 60, because like I was saying earlier, we put ourselves in a bubble. I take horror shots; they go really well. If I were to take, well, people are gotten used to the Warhammer stuff too, but if I were to take, say, like a shot of like Wolverine or Captain America, it'd be like 40 likes.
So that's, and I am going to let you go. that's how it's been with Marvel Legends, except when I got Maximum Hulk. That's been like my best one. Like there was like 4 or 5 pictures I did like when I first got it, and it fucking blew up.
Crazy.
Like you get probably the highest views. Then I did like a picture where I spent a lot of time outside with Maximum Hawk, like breaking off the Rattler's wing, and like nobody liked it. I'm like, man, I spent a lot of time out there. I sweat my ass off.
That's probably on your not a Punk with Toys, Punk with Toys second or something.
No, it's on a Punk with Toys. It's way far down.
Oh, okay.
A Punk with Toys the second is my backup account because I lost it because of some asshole that was giving me false copyright strikes.
Oh, God.
That's the only reason why I have it.
Was it Viper Island or?
It was Viper Island. I was the first one to lose my account because of him, and then I got it back.
Serious?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, that guy was such a nice guy in the beginning.
Yeah, until he got called out for not giving people credit and stealing people's content.
Yeah. And
then he became like a douchebag when he could have just said, "Hey, you know what? I apologize. I should have just given people credit."
He should have just done that.
It ain't that hard, right? Like that's what we're all supposed to do. But anyway, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much. I had a great time, and I will be we'll figure out something soon. Not soon.
You can come on. You can come on Mercs Live whenever you want. Wednesdays.
That's like the only day. It's like the only day I'm off. So it's like I need but it is.
You could pick a Wednesday sometime in the future.
No,
give me a couple of months out and just be like this day, and then I'll schedule it and we can do it.
You know what? You let me know when you want. You let me know, and if I'm free, we'll figure something out.
Okay. Cool.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Please head down there, like, subscribe to all of his things. If you're not subscribed to mine, I don't know why, but you should do that too. Take care.